What is going on, guys? My name is The Rose, and I am back here with Casey is Raw again. We are live for the first Less Than Serious of 2023. This is episode 61, where you guys can see we are going to be talking about what's going on with the WWE. Vince is back in power. Who is potentially going to buy the company? What's been going on with the situation over the past week? Also, YouTube has made some policy changes, and it's been pissing people off. So we're going to talk about that as well. YouTube made some changes to their monetization policy. Apparently now they're allowed to back charge for their services and whatnot. So that kind of sucks for some people. We're going to get into all that and the backlash it's caused. Also, I found a list of the top 15 best Royal Rumble pay-per-views over the years. So we're going to take a look back at some of those as well. So we're going to have a good show tonight. We're going to hang out. And, of course, if anyone wants to call in, the Skype line is open. I will give you my Skype. And or if you have Casey's Raw added, we can add you that way. Let me just
Yeah.
let me just see how the stream is sounding. So bear with a little bit of echo for just a moment, guys. I will give you my Skype, and
Well,
or if you
guys, both me and the Rose is gonna have a little bit of coffees. Just, I believe the Rose is just getting over the flu, and I'm still having a nasty chest cold. That's
I had the flu a week ago. I got over it last weekend, but I was still coughing, and
mm,
I was still like nasally. But I'm not nasally anymore. But I still have a little bit of a cough here and there from talking, and a lot in a short amount of time. But
uh,
that's from being sick and coughing a lot. Like, dude, last week I coughed so much in one day
mm,
that I woke up and my throat was bleeding.
uh. I know with me, I mean, since I have COVID, I have a little bit, not only a lingering cough, I have a little bit of a shortness of breath, like every once ago, like I don't know why, but it just does. But
So
and
Casey, can you believe that we are already? What's going on, Anani? First one in the chat tonight.
Anani,
So Casey, can you believe we're already in our third week of the year? It feels like the year just started.
well, pretty much it just did.
We're already halfway through the first month of the year. It's
Uh,
it's fucking crazy, man. It feels like the fucking year literally just started a few days ago.
and I agree about that. I mean, it feels like that. The older you get, the faster the days go, and I remember when I was a child, a school year would feel like 5 years before it was over with.
Right?
Why? Well, being an adult, because one, you do whatever you want. Uh, you you're working, and then if you have a hobby, your hobby's gonna keep you proactive. And then sometimes, like me, I like sleeping. Like I'll take monster naps, and I would lose most of the day by sleeping.
So I already told you guys how I started out my 2023 having the fucking flu. So Casey, how did you start off your 2023? What have you been up to so far in the last couple of weeks?
Uh, it's been interesting. I mean, I got over COVID before the beginning of the year, but I right now it's been kind of interesting personal life because I've been seeing someone new, but it's also created a bit of a problem right now. But
That has
uh,
nothing to do with what happened Friday night, does it?
yeah, I would say that. But we're moving on from that stuff. Me and her talked. I mean, we chatted through text, and I don't want to sling any mud at her. She's a great woman. I'm just don't want to sling any mud at her. It just seemed like the last couple years we just been. I mean, we had a great times together. I mean, with this year coming up, we would known each other for 5 years, but only dated for 2 years. But it's just complicated, and I just wanted to move on, meet someone else because I didn't see the future. So I figured moving on with someone. But uh, that's all I'm gonna say. Like, don't please, no one give her any hard time. She's a good woman. She didn't. I don't think she meant to do that. Um, it was just emotional stuff, and I don't want you guys to give her any hate because she doesn't deserve it. I mean, I'm not nowhere near innocent by no means. So, I mean, I'll be a man, own up to that. So,
Well,
but
if you guys know what he's talking about, that's great. I missed the show Friday night. I was thinking about coming on, and it sounds like we you had a little bit of drama in the middle of the show or closer to the end of it. So maybe it's a good thing I stayed off because now I don't know what's going on, and it's probably best left that way.
well, um, we're just moving on from that. I mean, we're still going to be good friends. It was just complicated, but I thought the whole thing was a work until later on. No,
How does my audio sound, guys? Casey says I sound a little bit low. I don't know what's going on with the microphone. I had to fight with it a little bit to get it to work before the stream. But as long as you guys can hear me, I guess it's all that matters. What's up to TSS? He says, what's up, Rose and Casey?
TSS.
Anani says she also had the flu last week and she's feeling better. Well, I'm feeling a lot better too. It's a good thing you're feeling better. My mom had it so bad she was in bed for 2.5 days.
Oh God.
She had 103.2 fever.
Ooh, that's
One day she couldn't get her fever down. She had a fever for like 3 days. She was getting monster headaches. She was barely eating anything for like 2 or 3 days. She had it really bad. She had it the worst out of me, her, and my brother.
I think TSS is right. You sound low and muffled. I mean, I can hear you. It's just not like, you know, the volume I would prefer.
I don't know why it's sounding like that. I really fucking don't.
But mm, but last week you talk about the flu. I got up Wednesday and I felt like shit, and I thought I had something real bad because I woke up and I had this metallic uh taste in my mouth, and I was having a bunch of coughing fit. And I was like, "Oh God, is this COVID again?" And look, I took the day off and I took COVID test and I was negative.
Pluto, what's up, Pluto?
Is that how you say Pluto?
That's how he spelt it.
It almost looks like Pito,
Plexto, that's what people call him.
Chitsto, or but
I mean, as long as you guys can hear me, that's great because I'm not going to stop the stream to fuck with it. Like I said, I messed with it a little bit just to get it working this much. So as long as you guys can hear me for tonight, that's all that matters. And I'll mess with my audio tomorrow. So, but
but
let's see.
the only thing else is that I thought, well, the doctor thought that it might have been the flu because they said the flu's getting around again, and they want to do a chest X-ray. I was like, fuck that, so can have another bill, like a bigger another thing add to the bill.
Yeah, I
So
don't blame you, especially if you don't have insurance and you got to pay for that shit.
I got
Pluto
insurance, but
Pluto says he hates to be a Dolphins fan today. I don't hate to be a Dolphins fan today. I
it
didn't
came close.
I didn't expect them to win. I didn't expect them to win. Everyone though was not giving them a chance in hell, and they damn near won the game with a third string quarterback and a fucking crippled offense.
It came close. But yeah, they came close. That's all. I mean, how you said. I mean, you should be just happy what you got right there. I mean, how often do you get anywhere near in the playoffs with the
They were
Dolphins?
even winning at one point in the third quarter. They were winning for almost the whole quarter. But it is what it is, with that.
Oh,
Playoffs? Playoffs?
playoffs?
Why do you have to go and mention the playoffs? Yeah, that old
No,
ass
it's not
meme.
like that. No, if he's talking about that one coach, he says because it was like in the mid, like early to mid of season of the regular season with the Colts. He's like playoffs. What do you mean playoffs?
Saying got
Oh,
YouTube. They didn't deserve to be in the playoffs. Yes, they did. They
oh.
earned their way into the playoffs just because my team knocked out your team. You don't have to be salty about it.
Well, I mean, you should have your brothers on here uh, someday. I think that'd be great. Dolphins suck. I can't say much because uh, I watched my partially my first game of the year.
Yeah, Mr. fucking Cowboys fan who doesn't watch a single game in the season.
Well, I mean, it's what one I like to do things during Saturday and Sunday. It's either I like to sleep until late, and then I wanted to like make videos or watch YouTube. And football's not up there on my list of things I want to sit down and watch anymore.
Well, that being said, Casey, what do you say we get into these topics? We're already almost 15 minutes into the show.
Sounds good to me.
So, let's see. Oh, look at that. My brother Pluto firing and saying the Cowgirls suck.
See, the thing is, if you're gonna make fun of the Cowboys, at least have something original. Like someone said, I think it was on one of my streams. They said the Dallas Butt Boys. It was like, hey, at least that's something new.
Well, at least
You
they
go.
can't get taken to Ram Ranch this year.
Like everyone says, the Cowgirls. I mean, that's such a lame, unoriginal, uh, comment to say. At least give me something better, like the Dallas Butt Boys. I would, I would at least get a kick out of that. But
All right, so I'm going to throw this up on the screen here. We're going to talk about the policy changes that has been affecting YouTubers and whatnot. People are not happy about the situation at hand. People are getting false flagged over it, and people are just genuinely not happy at all.
well, I mean, what they getting flagged for?
So, YouTube made changes to their policy over violence and profanity. Um, Obviously, profanity being cursing, and if you curse within the first 15 seconds of your fucking video, or your fucking live stream, then you are automatically demonetized. And then after the first 15 seconds, it is up to YouTube's discretion to determine how much cursing is too much cursing for your video, depending on the length of the video and how much you talk in the video.
Well, that's BS. Because I mean, it's it's not like we're on YouTube Kid service. I mean, that's one thing. If you're being on there, you had to be squeaky clean. But we're on normal YouTube. I mean, uh, neither of us hit the threshold where we can get super chats. So right now, monetization doesn't really matter for us. I mean, but I think it's BS if we can't just be ourselves. I mean, yes, there's certain words I agree we have to be careful to say because
I'm sorry. Excuse me.
you don't want
I had a cough.
you don't want someone to say the N word or say something racist or Even though, let's say you're joking around with, uh,
Unless you're playing GTA, then according to Drew, the N word is totally fine.
oh god. But I think it's stupid. And it was funny is that I got my ass ripped, reamed from not only the Rose and TSS about my fucking video saying, "Oh, your intro's too long, Casey." I mean, I love making those intros. I mean, I kind of like my new one for the N64 because I just did a new did a viewer's request for AJ Raiders, and it's a little over a minute, but it's not as long as the normal one.
Yeah, and YouTube, you got to remember, we're not cursing. We're using our sentence enhancers.
Enhancers.
But so not only that though, Casey, they're also flagging videos and age restricting and demonetizing videos over what they consider to be graphic violence. Now, when they consider graphic violence, you think of, actual real life fights or
Yeah.
shootings or, anything that goes beyond that. But no, not only are they targeting that, which has always been the case, but they've been going after gameplay videos
What?
showcasing violence
That
because
is.
there have been a few Mortal Kombat YouTubers I know of that have had a few of their videos age restricted because of the violence in Mortal Kombat. Obviously, GTA videos are at risk because of all the shooting and killing and everything you do in that shit, which, lucky for Drew, he hasn't gotten hit with that yet. But, yeah, it's been a thing lately. And then, to top it all off, they have made changes to their discretion on how they feel that um, if you are not rightfully earning money on a video anymore,
Yeah.
apparently they can go back and charge back the money you earned on the video and make you pay it back to YouTube.
Oh, that is bullshit.
So I've been in a debate with Drew over the weekend about this, um, and I think we've kind of reached an agreement, but we're going to get to that. I pulled up this video.
Oh, did you actually talk to him or did you text to talk to him?
No, we did it over. Yeah, we did it over Twitter. Um,
Okay. Because I still hadn't talked to the man one on one since the whole derail uh, fell apart.
yeah, neither have
So,
I. I've just been, texting him here and there.
and I've been trying to con him to do something with me, just hang out. I mean, I miss talking to the guy.
TSS says, Casey, all I ask is you make your intros 30 seconds or less. I agree with that wholeheartedly. And
Well, I
Casey,
made.
the more you stand by how you made your last wrestling topic video, the more I want to make a video response tearing it apart.
Hold on. See, I I can understand the intro for that one is a little long, and I actually did cut it way back, but I do need to cut it a
I
little bit
remember when
more.
you had that intro like 3 minutes long. So yes, you cut a minute and 4 seconds off. Bravo. Cut it more.
And then you have complaints about the gifts. And you know what? It was more of pictures that, I was just making a point out of. Like, I mean, with the new app I got, I can put stuff like pictures. Like, I mean, when I'm doing my rare and expensive games, I can show, hey, this is what it goes for now. Instead of like me stopping the video, show it, have place music, and then back, I can actually have a picture in picture thing.
Well,
So,
we'll get into that at the end of the show when we plug our shit. But I want to get into this article here. This is YouTube about their monetization guidelines, new analytics tools in the mobile app. So YouTube has announced updates to the advertiser-friendly guidelines, which dictate what content is eligible for monetization on the app. So the guidelines essentially cover illegal and offensive content, but in terms of specific changes, YouTube is updating these elements: adult content, video thumbnails containing adult links, bad language, and adult material will not be eligible for monetization. Obviously, if you're linking to porn, that's a
No,
given.
that was some that was
Curse words on your thumbnail have always been a thing, but I guess they wanted to point that out.
porn. That's been something they uh it was against it from day one, pretty much.
Right, but they're
Uh,
they're like cracking down hardcore lately.
are they talking about like now the educational version of nudity?
I have no idea. Violence, content showing dead bodies without context, game violence,
That's stupid right there.
game violence directed at real people, and videos showing an implied moment of death will not be eligible for ad revenue. Now, how are you going to target video game violence depicted at real people when video game characters are fake people?
And how? I mean,
Just because they look real nowadays, they're still fake.
what about like how? I mean, let's say 8-bit graphics. Does that count? Like, I mean, let's say like Contra. I mean, when you go around shooting people, is that considered violent?
Well, I think what's been targeted is stuff that's recent now,
More,
a
more
lot more
modern.
recent, yeah, a lot more modern with the much higher graphics, shit that looks a lot more real. So like I
So you,
said, Mortal Kombat 11, GTA, stuff like that's been what's been getting hit lately.
oh, I mean, what about Mortal Kombat? The first one. I mean, that looks almost real. I mean, they use real people in that. I mean,
But
yeah,
here's the thing though: how do you target video game violence when all the characters are fake?
it's just stupid. It's um, I can understand violence. Like I can understand like real violence. Have you seen like a fight on YouTube, like especially a fight on a stream, or like you have a fight on a video?
Yeah, like somebody records a fight instead of calling the police and uploads it to YouTube to get their
Yeah.
5 minutes of fame.
See, I can understand that. And then, a dead body. I mean, that's something like TV wouldn't do. So I understand about that too. But I mean,
They always claim to be fighting against the bots, but the bots always come back. The more they delete bots, the more come back.
oh
Let's
yeah.
see. Harmful and dangerous acts. Dangerous acts or stunts featuring minors as participants or victims may not receive ad revenue. That's always been the same. This is an important focus given the rise of child deaths as a result of participating in dangerous online challenges like the Tide Pod Challenge, the Cinnamon Challenge, shit like
Hold
that.
on. Cinnamon challenge. I mean, has that killed people?
I don't know if it killed people, but people have certainly choked doing it.
Well,
Here's
I,
here's the second biggest one, Casey. We'll go on to this before you retort. Inappropriate language. This is the main one out of these guidelines. YouTube says that all varieties of profanity will now be treated equally. But yet they said words like damn and hell and occasionally ass are no longer curse words. They will not be differentiated based on levels of severity, though YouTube does also note that it's not treating words like hell and damn as profanity anymore. Though
well,
this is a little weird. Content where profanity is used after the first 8 seconds may receive ad revenue. However, its profanity is used in the first 8 seconds of the video, then it will not be monetized. It was 15 seconds. They changed it to 8.
I mean, honestly, who starts their show 8 seconds with a profanity? Who honestly does that? I mean, who just went and start a hit live and just outright just says fuck?
If
and
you've looked
that's
at a lot of the Game Grumps older videos, they've cursed a lot within the first few seconds of their videos.
really. I
Oh
mean, I
yeah.
can understand the angry video game nerd, yeah, where he says, "Ah," oh, ass. But I mean,
Fuck!
yeah, but
Game
I
Grumps,
think
yeah, they started censoring like the first 30 seconds of their videos because they used to curse so much right at the start of their stuff.
it's so stupid. Like I said, it, you're on normal YouTube. If you're on YouTube Kids, I can understand this 100%. But this should be treated like Sirius XM, where this is the uncensored, more uncensored version. You know, like I pay for YouTube Premium. That means I should at least get the uncensored bullshit.
Right?
Yeah.
Some YouTubers are starting their shows on YouTube, continuing the shows on Rumble, etc., where the platforms aren't censored as much. Damn in hell shouldn't even count, anyways. Yeah.
Oh, I agree about that because I mean that's only a kid version of cursing, you know. But I agree with Nani with that one. The 730 words should still count, yes. But
Yeah, they do count, but it's up to YouTube's discretion now how much you curse in a video, depending on how long it is and how much you talk. Which
I just
I don't think should be a thing. If as long as it's outside the first, I would say 30 seconds or even the first minute of a video. You don't need to be cursing within the first 60 seconds of your video. You don't. 8 seconds is being very generous, in my opinion.
yes, I agree because that's like maybe just wait like 8 to 15 seconds when the first of the stream is like then you just curse. It's like, hey, I cursed outside that limit, so we should be good, right?
And obviously, we've known when Drew was doing the podcast, he started his streams with the first minute or two having music to avoid all that. He wasn't even saying a damn word in the first freaking minute of his videos.
Well, he did have an intro though too. Like he was having music playing, and then it was just him for the first couple minutes.
Right, that's what I'm saying. So he wasn't cursing in his beginning of his videos, and that's how everybody should treat the beginning of their videos. You don't need to be cursing at all within the first minute of your videos. Like I said, 8 seconds is very generous.
I
It was 15 seconds. They moved it down to 8.
I think it's stupid that timeline though. I mean, why is it even there? Quite frankly, I'm like, I mean, honestly, we're really not affected by this right now
We're
because
not, but you got to think of all the people that are. You know.
oh, like people like Drew who has over 1,000 subs. I mean, he has 7,000 subs. The guy deserves more, especially all the work he put into his channel. But
What's going
he's
on,
more.
ma'am?
He's.
Casey is cursing.
I mean, he has to be more careful. He's the one who has to fight for his keep his channel.
And he's
Being,
the one that's agreeing with all this shit. Every time I present to him a piece of evidence showing how YouTube's cracking down, he is just going right along with it.
well, I mean, granted, I mean, some of them are make sense, like violence, like people fighting. I agree. I mean, like unless
I don't
there's
agree with
some
the video game violence though, because that's bullshit and a half right there.
I agree with that because I mean there's YouTube gaming, and hey, what's part of gaming is violence. So that
You can even say Mario is fucking violent.
yeah,
What's next? They're gonna demonetize you because you fucking jumped on a turtle and then kicked it across the fucking room.
yep, or into a pit.
You killed a fucking fictional turtle. Now you get demonetized for being violent.
That's what I'm saying. How far does it go? Does it go all the way down to let's say Atari, like where you're barely a pixel, like a square pixel, and you're killing another square
I
pixels.
don't
That's
think they're going to target anything like that. They're only going to target games that look realistic. They're not going to target anything that you can barely make out what it is. I would say nothing from the PS2 generation, or rather nothing from the PS1 generation and older. I don't think will get hit. Maybe Doom,
I don't. Yeah, Doom definitely.
maybe Doom and Mortal Kombat, but outside of that, like nothing
Huh?
other than like GTA and other shooter
What
games.
What about Wolfenstein 3D?
Well, I mean that's kind of the same as Doom, just a different name. But outside of those games,
It's more hard.
I don't think you have to worry about things getting hit, people getting hit, and I'm hitting you at the wrong fucking shit. So let's just touch on these last two real quick because these ones also have always been there. Drug related content, in addition to the existing rule around the display and discussion of illegal drugs, drug use and/or mention of drugs in gaming content. There you go, gaming and content again. GTA is at the forefront of this.
Yeah.
Will now also trigger demonetization. So if you see somebody, I don't know, is cigarettes still considered drugs? I mean, is weed still
Mm,
considered drugs even though it's
I
legal?
would say, weed. I would say yes. Cigarettes. I would say no,
Well,
because
funny
you're
how
not.
they don't. Funny how they don't put alcohol in this fucking situation.
Oh, they'll eventually will. I
Because
mean, I would.
drugs and alcohol go hand in hand.
Oh, I agree. I
But
mean,
again, whatever you do in a video game is not fucking real. Depicts, even if it depicts or references something, it's not real. It's not actually happening. It's not showcasing how or where to get it. I think the video games need to be left alone.
but I have one big point. Once you got done with this one, I want to get your opinion
the
and
last
other
one.
people.
All right. The last one, real quick, is enabling dishonest behavior, scams. This has again always been there. Although this is saying this is a new guideline designed to tackle the rising spute or spate of prank videos where people impersonate um, store employees. YouTube says that pretending to be a retail store employee without the proper without the property owner's permission will now also trigger demonetization.
This is
Other
stupid.
aspects with this category is cheating in video games, Casey,
Hold on, look who's freaking
with the
talking.
use of hacking software in competitive esports, now also against the rules.
Hold on, look who's fucking talking here. I mean, who was playing last night on a Super Mario World hack and using the rewind feature and calls me a fucking cheater? See, I granted that. I mean, yes, in my recent Contra uh, game, I actually used the Game Genie, but because I felt like, hey, I wanted to get further into the game than just as far as I couldn't go.
AJ Raider, what's up? AJ Raider, AJ Bulldog, woof 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 woof.
What's up, AJ?
But yeah, I think the whole fucking targeting of video games thing, that's all new, and it's bullshit, in my opinion.
I don't really think that's really new, though. I mean,
I mean, they haven't been hitting it like they are, so technically it kind of is new.
okay.
But I get it. Cheating in esports because you got money on the line, it's a legit competition. That I understand. But
Hmm.
even if you're not competing in esports and you still showcase cheating in video games, you're still going to get demonetized for it now? That's fucked.
Well, I mean, I think it's not a bad idea. I mean, you watch someone. Let's say you know how many times I swear I'm feel like someone's cheating on Fortnite. Like I feel like I swear any time. Honestly, the people who plays on PC should not be playing the same people on consoles because they're using a mouse and a keyboard, and they're more likely to use mods in Fortnite.
Well,
And when I could see them build like a fucking fortress in 2 seconds around themselves and or around me, like to me, I think that's cheating.
I think, well, usually with competitions like that, they usually group people off based on the platform they're on. But I honestly can't speak to that because I've never competed in esports. Personally, I can't stand esports. I
I
think
think
video
it's
games should
stupid.
not, esports, video games should not be considered a sport
I
at all.
agree. I agree. I mean, I don't mind competition, but it actually being called an e-sport. I mean, like you're sitting down with a either a mouse or a keyboard or a controller. How is that a sport?
Yeah, right. But so those are all of the new changes that have been affecting YouTube and has been pissing a lot of people off lately. Again, I
What?
also mentioned the whole thing about how YouTube has the discretion now to charge back payments made to people
That's
on
stupid.
monetized videos. Now, I can understand if a video, Casey, let's say you had a monetized video, you made money on it 3 months ago. The
Yeah.
the video was still monetized, and then let's say next week they demonetize it. Once they demonetize it, right, you lose the ability to continue making money on that video. That's understandable.
Oh, it depends. I mean, what's on there? I mean, if it's a copyright thing or something
Doesn't
that,
matter. No. Does not matter why you're demonetized. The point is, if you had a monetized video you made money from, let's say 3 months ago,
yeah.
then it gets demonetized tomorrow. You no longer have right to make money on that video from the time it gets demonetized. That is understandable, right?
No, I think you should have the right to fight it though,
You can't,
because
right? No, you can fight it, but what I'm saying is you made money on a video 3 months ago.
yeah.
You continue to make money on it up until the time it was demonetized. Once it's
Well,
demonetized, you no longer have the right to make money on that video, which is
well, the
understandable.
well, it depend. Like I said, it depends what caused it to be demonetized.
You're not
I
understanding me. You're not understanding me.
no, I understand what you mean,
No.
but
It doesn't matter why. The whole thing is money. Once you are demonetized, you lose the right going forward on that video. That's understandable. What I'm getting at
I would.
is what I'm getting at is YouTube has the discretion to charge back a payment they made to you on a monetized video when they deem it no longer monetizable.
Well,
I don't
I
agree with that. Now unless they overpaid you on a video,
screw that.
unless they overpaid you on a video, if they gave you more than what you actually earned on it, then they I can see them having the right to say, "Hey, we overpaid you. You got to give us that money back." I don't think they should have the right to say, "Hey, you made X amount of money on this video 6 months ago, but now we determine that it's not monetizable anymore, and we want that money back." That's bullshit.
Well, I think we agreed to disagree to some point, but
I think you're missing the point, but what I was getting at. Let's see what the chat thinks about that. Actually, I'm going to put that as a poll in the chat. I'm going to put that right now as a poll in the chat. Let's see. I haven't done polls very often. Let's see how to do a poll. Here we go. Start a poll.
so I wanted to bring up something. You remember when this whole ad apocalypse happened? Like, gotta been like 7 years ago now. When a lot of the ads and sponsorship left YouTube because, hate speech. You know what I'm talking about?
Go on. Say that again.
You remember when the whole ad apocalypse has first happened? Where about 7, 8 years ago, where they were
You
YouTube.
mean when PewDiePie apparently said the N word or made that Nazi joke, or
I think this was before that.
then there was
Uh,
something else that caused the Adpocalypse 2.0. And then there
Yeah.
was something else that caused another fucking issue.
Well, it was. I think was hate speech that was behind it. It was like, or no, I think it was something with terrorism that was getting monetized, and they find the sponsorship found out about they were sponsoring a video on some either hate speech or some terrorism, and they pulled out, and then a lot of sponsors pulled out because a lot of times the YouTubers were making a lot more money beforehand. Now they have to rely on more on the viewers to donate than that. But and one of the biggest things was like wrestling. Wrestling took a huge hit. Like anyone who was doing like podcasts about wrestling or putting wrestling on YouTube that they were making money was no longer making any good money off of it because they considered wrestling violence. So, you think this is going to hurt wrestling even more minus?
Oh, if you've seen the Rampage main event on Friday night, you could consider that pretty fucking violent.
Well, I'm just saying, like minus the bigger ones like WWE and AEW. I don't. I think they're gonna cater to them, because they're the big corporations. You don't want to piss them off. But I'm thinking like little time groups and little time podcasters. I feel like that's BS, if you ask me.
I don't think it's gonna affect wrestling YouTubers as long as they're not like showing the content and whatnot. Talking about it, I think is one thing, but like showing the content is another.
Well, yeah, I mean, you have to be careful what you show and how long you show it because then that's copyright issue. But I mean, it's like, so what about little time companies like MLW or GCW who puts their even Impact who put their stuff on YouTube?
That, yeah, if YouTube considers it to be violent, yeah, they're going to get hit. Absolutely.
See, I mean, they could almost consider it as a sport, though. I mean, what about UFC and MMA stuff? I mean, I'm sure they're going to get away with it when they put stuff on free on YouTube. They'll get away with it because they're a big time company.
Well, if you've noticed, uh, WWE when they upload their matches and stuff now to YouTube, like full length matches,
I like that, by the way.
you notice they censor like the chair shots and stuff. Like
Uh,
they'll cut away a couple of frames
yeah,
out of it, like where when the chair will make contact with the
yeah.
person's body or whatever. They'll cut that out, so you'll hear it, but visually you don't see it.
I can understand that. I can understand that. And you know what? I'm liking how they are putting some random matches from pay-per-views on there
Yeah,
for free.
I don't like the censorship though. And speaking of censorship, let's see. Anani says way too much censorship on YouTube. AJ Raider says exactly too much censorship. No need. We need to start paying content creators more money. Uh, Too much bullshit. YouTube is terrible, says Bam. Anani agrees with AJ. Start paying content creators more money. I mean, big companies are always going to be greedy. So
Oh
unfortunately,
yeah. I mean, like I said, they're going to cater to the bigger companies. They're not. They don't give a flying fuck about anyone. I mean, they don't even how many people like Cronin has subs. They're not going to care about him and going downwards in subs. I mean, I would almost say the same thing about Tommy, who has over 100,000 subs. You know, they're not going to care about those people. They're going to only care about the people who has millions of subs or big time.
yeah, it's the people that can afford to pay for the ads. The companies that already have the millions of dollars that shouldn't even be on YouTube in the first place, in my opinion.
Yeah, they're there just to steal our clout.
when YouTube first came out, you didn't see like Fox or CBS or
No,
CNN or any huge organization or company or whatever making YouTube channels and YouTube videos to get
absolutely
to
not.
get their product out there more than they. I mean, they're doing it now because I see it. It's free advertising versus having to pay all that money for advertising.
Yeah.
But thinking of all these TV companies and TV stations and celebrities and musicians and shit, I saw a YouTube music ad for some woman. I forgot she was advertising her new song. Like, hey, don't forget to listen to my new single on YouTube playlist now. I'm like, bitch, you don't even need to be advertising your shit on YouTube. You got enough money.
Well, I remember one time before I had
EJ
before
News and updates. What's up?
before I paid for YouTube Premium, I would say I like it because it would allow me to play music without the phone. It had to be with the screen on.
Everybody out there, if you can on Twitter and whatnot, retweet the stream and post it out. That'd be fantastic.
I did already. Um, but I seen one time an ad for YouTube Music that someone was like playing their music. It was a rap song, and in the middle of the rap song was a bunch of N words
Oh
on
yeah,
it.
I've seen that too. Yeah, and
And
you
I'm
don't
not just
and you
I'm
don't just
saying
get
where
these
they said
ads.
I'm saying the N word they said the N words. That's what I meant.
Right,
It,
and you don't just see ads for like a clip of a song. No, sometimes you get the whole motherfucking song as the ad. And yeah,
yeah.
and if it's a rap song, you're bound to hear an N word or two here or there, and that's totally fine because they got fucking money.
Oh
YouTube's not going to
yeah.
go after those people. But
No.
God forbid, I said, God forbid, I said the word.
Did you mute that?
Did you have to ask? Anyways, God forbid I say
Uh,
that fucking word. God forbid I say that fucking word. My shit will not only get demonetized, but it would probably get fucking blocked on YouTube and not even be allowed to be watched.
well, I don't know about that. I mean, how many times you heard that on other channels? And I'm
What's
not
going
gonna
on,
put
Steve Callan?
Callan.
Callan. Did I say Callan? I said Callan, didn't I?
Yeah, yeah. But I'm not gonna point at any channel about that. But I've seen some where people says those words, and it really did affect them. It might have demonetized their stream or video, but they didn't get blocked or anything. So I think they're literally lenient on that
Of course
a
they are.
little.
People with money get away with everything.
Oh, definitely. I'm not gonna lie about that. I agree about that. That's why I said like people like the WWE can get away with putting violence, and yeah, they'll probably play ball a little bit, like where they said they'll take out chair shots and certain. Um. Oh, TSS says that's what happened to Wrestling Bios.
Yeah, he actually, yeah, lately, yes. He was actually an example of that. His last two, not including the one from tonight, his last two uploads got flagged because YouTube's closed captioning system.
Mm,
You know, if you turn on the closed captioning, you'll have the Google whatever that what they think you're saying, and they'll put the captions on the screen.
yeah, they're
They
bots.
they thought that he said the N word and the C word in his
Oh,
last two videos, so they shot those videos down. So now he had to take those videos down, edit out those parts where they thought he said words he didn't say, and put them back up. And that was
that's
the Armageddon, not the Armageddon, the Unforgiven 1998 video, and the one after that he did.
that's just stupid.
And on top of that, people are also complaining that they're getting flagged for cursing in the first 15 seconds of videos when they actually never did.
Wow.
I seen an example of that on Twitter earlier today, actually.
I mean, maybe it's a good thing that I have those long intros then. they can't. I can get away with that.
So yeah, it's ridiculous. And yes, Casey, to answer your question, I did mute. I did use the dump button. I did learn
No.
some trick. I did learn some tricks from Drew.
Oh,
So
I was like, God, he's just going to say it. I mean, it doesn't bother me. I mean, to me, like, it's just stupid. You can't say stuff, even though you would say a certain word, but you would have no malice in that. And you're suddenly you're racist, you're a sexist, or you're a homophobic. I'm like,
it,
it's just stupid. I mean,
it
we
is.
used.
It really is.
I mean, I remember back in the day where you used to say, "Oh, that was gay," and I guarantee you now, if you say that, "Oh my God, let's cancel that guy because he just said that."
So I mentioned that all these changes have sparked backlash with creators. So YouTube now has taken notice to all of the content creator complaints to their new policies, and they are planning to modify profanity rules that prompt creator backlash. Now I think they should modify their entire guideline system because again the whole video game thing with the violence and the anything that is depicted in a video game I think shouldn't get flagged because it's not fucking real, YouTube. But they're only going to go after the fucking cursing aspect, which is a step in the right direction at least.
Well, you know what? I think we need to go a step further though. Instead of just censoring some of the curse words, we definitely not only we gotta censor ass, hell, and damn. We gotta go even further. We gotta censor the word dang, freaking,
Shucks.
shucks, nincompoop,
Gosh
and
dang it.
gosh dang it, stuff like that. Or Bob Saget. We gotta go even further. We gotta censor all the kids' words that was
We gotta
considered.
we gotta censor every slang word that a kid can say that means cursing.
Yeah.
And you know what? If you want to go a step further, we gotta go and we gotta censor SpongeBob too, because every time they say the word barnacles, you know what they're wanting to say.
Oh God.
We got to make sure we have no slang out there left to say, unless we say "golly gee willikers," guys.
Oh no, that's out too. You can't have anything that has a slang, so that shit is completely cut out. So
So let me get into this article. YouTube gaming's community pushed back against the company this week after some creators saw their old videos demonetized out of the blue. The out the culprit is a new policy that the company introduced back in November, and people are just taking notice of it now, in order to make certain kind of content more advertiser friendly. That change made to YouTube's advertiser friendly content guidelines overhauled the platform's approach to profanity and violence. The good news that while we don't quite know what the company will do yet, YouTube is apparently listening to content creators' concerns. In recent weeks, and I quote, "We've heard from many creators regarding this update." YouTube spokesperson Michael Ackerman told TechCrunch, "That feedback is important to us, and we are in process of making some adjustments to the policy to address their concerns. We will follow up shortly with our creator community as soon as we have more to share." In November, YouTube explained the definition of violence beyond real-world depictions, including in-game violent content directed at real named person or acts that are manufactured to create shocking experiences, such as brutal mass killings. Yeah, because
Contra.
somebody attacking a guy called Scorpion is really attacking a real life person.
Well, that's what I'm saying. Mass killing. That sounds like Contra, if you ask me.
Or GTA.
Yeah.
The company said that gore is in standard gameplay was fine, but only after the first 8 seconds of videos. The whole section left plenty of room for interpretation, for better or for worse. The
Uh,
changes
th-
the changes to its profanity the changes to its profanity policy were more drastic. YouTube announced that it would no longer count hell and damn as profane words, but all other profanity would be lumped together instead of differentiated based on severity. Words like shit and fuck would now be treated the same way. Further profanity used in the title, thumbnail, or in the video's first 7 seconds used consistently throughout the video may not receive ad revenue according to the new policy. If swearing kicks in after the first 8 seconds of a video, it's still eligible, but some of the changes stood to affect a new massive swath of videos, many of which were made well before the changes were announced. Creators started noticing new policies effect around the end of December, watching some videos be slapped with new restrictions and limiting their ad eligibility.
hey, before you move on, I gotta tell TSS he's really pushing his luck because he says, Casey, are you lucking serious right now? I'm pretty sure he meant something else. So I mean, he's skating on thin ice right there.
Steve Callan makes a good point. You brought this up already, Casey. He goes, they censor because they all want control. Why censor it if it's not meant for children? Fuck censoring. They can shove it.
TSS brought up a great point. It's like, if why don't YouTube just send you a message saying, "Hey, this content here, your vid might get demonetized," and tell you pretty much how to keep it monetized.
And here's the thing. You know it's not actual people using their discretion to determine how much cursing is too much cursing in a video. No, they leave that to their broken bot system that's never going to get any better.
Hmm.
And then when people make a fucking fuss about it because their bots made a mistake or their bot determined something that is incorrect or something that is apparently too much when it's maybe not too much, then a actual person or a team of people at YouTube will say, okay, we're going to look at it manually. When that's what should happen in the first place. But when they go and say that they're manually reviewing it, how do you know that they're actually going in and looking at your content? You don't know that they are. They could just say, hey, we manually looked at it and our decision stands. You don't know they
Oh,
actually looked at it.
we know that's BS because I remember Drew said at one point he sent something and turned around. They said they view it, and it was like seconds later it was denied. I was like, hold on. I think it was Drew. Could have been someone else, but I mean, it's been proven that they really don't look at these. I mean, they might look at a few, but not at every, you know, a request for a review.
Right.
Because especially if it's a turnaround in seconds, then that's obviously no one looked at it. It was probably another bot looked at it and said, "Nope, it's still against our policy."
So I actually want to bring something up real quick, and I'm going to go to my guy that I watch, 616 Entertainment. He's one of the guys that I had, who I had used as an example, but didn't name him until just now. I'm going to go to one of his videos, one of his tweets. He goes, where is it? Where is it? Where did he post it? Where did he post it? Where did he post it? I retweeted it too. Oh, here we go. Just in time for holiday. Is this it? Just in time for holiday weekend? No, that's not it. Where the fuck did he post it? I fucking retweeted it too.
Well, maybe go to your retweets.
Yeah, I'm probably gonna. He might have actually retweet. He actually might have deleted the tweet since then.
Mm.
But he said something about how he was hit for cursing in the first 15 seconds of a video, even though he didn't. He goes, and you could take. He goes, YouTube would know that if they took 15 seconds to watch the video.
Oh, they don't have 15 seconds to watch it. They're too busy to do that.
I'm trying to see if I could find it. It might have been a few days ago. I said this to Drew. I said, see, I said another example of somebody getting hit. Where is it? I don't know. He might have deleted the tweet because it's not here anymore.
It's possible.
That's Boogie. Yeah, I think he deleted the tweet because it's not here anymore. Yeah, it's definitely gone. Yeah, it's definitely gone. He deleted it. That's a shame. But anyways, yeah, so that's the YouTube situation. What are your final thoughts on the whole YouTube situation, Casey? I think that it's kind of bullshit.
Oh,
Uh,
it's definitely bullshit.
Spoiler for our last topic of the night, but anyways.
It's definitely bullshit because, I mean, every time they do some policy change, it seems it's always for the worse. It's never for the best, for the better, for the content creator. It's the content creator always gets screwed at the very end.
So TSS says, what I don't get is why doesn't YouTube just send you a message? You already went over this,
Yeah.
saying you might get demonetized if you want the video to stay monetized. Edit it out with the editing tool. Steve Callan says, if not made for children, then why censor? So dumb. What's up, Michael? Happy birthday.
Oh, hey, we're officially not giving him any more birthday wishes. That's been canceled, and we're not even actually going to give him his birthday wishes on his actual birthday because he had so many wishes. So
Oh,
fuck his birthday.
oh, come on, Michael. What do you think of that? He's canceling your birthday, man.
Well, I mean, how many? He had like 2 full years of everyone saying every day is his birthday. So I think we can go without a while. Even on his birthday, we will not acknowledge it anymore.
I don't know, man. You trying to cancel a man's birthday? That just ain't right.
I think I know Tex is on board with that, and I think same thing with. I mean, I'm not gonna put it in words in AJ, but I think AJ agrees with it too. We're just not giving him no more birthdays. I think it's getting too old. See, right there, it says, yeah, Mikkel is like 500 years old. So, I mean, how many more birthdays? I mean, we said happy birthday so many times, we don't have to do it for the rest of his life. So, fuck your birthday, Mikkel. So, what's the next one? Are we moving on to the what's on about the WWE? Anonymous says not right to cancel Mikkel's special day. Yeah, AJ agrees with me and Tex. No more birthdays for Mikkel. He's done. Yeah, like Steve Callan says, Mikkel ran out of his birthdays. Yes, we're done saying happy birthday to the guy. I mean, it was a dead horse we've been kicking for the last 2 years. That it's no longer a skeleton; it's sawdust that we're currently kicking. So we don't need to give him any more birthdays. God, I hate this chest. This.
You, Michael told me what he thinks of you canceling his birthday.
What?
So let me play this message for you. There you go.
No more birthdays for you, Mikhail. You're done.
You're done. You're canceled, boy.
Yeah, if he keeps it up, we might make sure he'll never get a birthday again. Permanently. You'd be
Run
done.
out of birthdays. That's impossible. So, Casey, I know you like to talk about wrestling, and I do occasionally too. Um,
I think you watch more than I do anymore.
I don't know. I only really watch AEW these days. But you still like to talk, quite a bit about wrestling, obviously, because you renamed your channel. Casey is Raw's Gaming
Game.
and Wrestling.
Well, because one, I've been getting complaints about, oh, you're doing two completely things. But I figure, hey, you know what? I'll just name it what the channel really is: gaming and wrestling.
So, we have had quite the roller coaster ride over the past week or so with the WWE, with Vince McMahon regaining his position in the WWE as the chairman of the company, Stephanie stepping down, obviously, as co-chairwoman or co-chairperson, and then further resigning from the company. Then it came out later that night as what we thought was confirmed that the Saudi Arabia Public Fund or something with the government of Saudi
Yeah.
bought the WWE because we do know the company is for sale. That turned out to be false, but there was apparently some agreement made with Saudi, but it's not. It doesn't really have to do with the sale of the company, but something is agreed upon but not set in stone. And then we thought it had something to do with Saudi because apparently Sonya Deville has a gay rights T-shirt or some shit on the WWE's shop page that got taken down that
Oh,
night
wow.
off the web page
Really?
and whatnot. And all this news actually brought me out to actually watch a Joe Cronin stream for the first time in a while. Because he was literally the only person on that night talking about it.
There's the first thing I ever heard about the sale was Hannibal TV. He's the first person brought that up.
Well, I don't watch Hannibal TV. Mike Keller's trying to call.
Yeah,
Casey, you want to add Mike Kell for a little while? Why not? We'll take his call.
give me a second. I can get him. Yeah, give me a second. I'll get him. But yeah, I mean, he was the first one, and I don't really put much credence in it if I don't know anyone. I mean, a lot of times if I see something like that, I would like to look up, see what kind of news report there is, if there is anything. Like, I'll go Google and see if there's any news, and if I don't see anything, I'll wait. I know if I AJ wants to. I think AJ would be great to add to this too. What do you think of it?
If he wants to come on, he's welcome to come on.
All right,
Yeah, he
let me
says,
see.
"Can I call in?" Yeah, go ahead and add him.
All right. Well, Mikhail, I tried to. Mikhail didn't answer.
Well, you added him, so if he comes on, he comes on.
Yeah, but
I know you guys use the StreamYard stuff, but
KT.
here we go.
hold on. Are you mad that I don't want you about your birthdays anymore, Mikhail?
I don't like it in my birthday every day, but you gotta give me one birthday.
No,
You,
no more birthdays for you.
hey bro, what going on?
Oh
What?
shit! I knew Michael was gonna fire back at you. I had to at least give him the opportunity. You start
Um.
this shit, Casey. You bring it on yourself.
Well, technically, I didn't start this. Tex started the whole thing first.
What's up, Garza?
So
Happy
Hey,
birthday! Even he's saying happy birthday to Michael still. See, he's a good guy.
yeah,
I'm trying. I don't know why now I can't add anyone because I go to invite.
You have AJ
Uh,
Rader's Skype name on your thing? 'Cause
yeah.
I know I don't.
Oh, hold on. Maybe I just had to go. Oh, got him. I don't know. It was different for a second, but I got it. It should be calling now. Let me try that again. But no, I just agreed with Tex about it. No more birthdays for Paul.
but you, KT, no birthday for you there.
No more birthdays for you then. I like that idea.
I'm fine with that. Hold on. Now I can't find AJ on here.
What going on, bro? How you been?
I'm doing all right there, Michael. How have you been, bro?
It's been a long time since me and you talk.
Yeah, I mean, I haven't really been talking to people much lately. Just trying to get see if we can get AJ Rader on
Oh,
here.
it says, hold on, he might be invited. Yeah, yeah, he's just not answering right now.
He's invited. If he picks up, he picks up.
I'm
But
gonna try again.
with that being said, while you do that, I'm going to get into this article discussing the events of what's been going on with the WWE lately. So, a former CEO gets added back to the board. His daughter resigns as CEO. Rumors surface of a buyout by the Saudi Arabia's wealth fund. The stock jumps 24%. That's WWE's story over the past few days. It's akin to a movie script, except the stock traders can play a part.
I'm right. Oh,
Oh,
God, baby.
I took care of that.
Thank you. I was gonna hit it. Let's see. The nearly $7 billion sports entertainment firm, former chief Vince McMahon emerged on Friday, saying the only way for the company to fully capitalize on industry interest in the live programming would be for him to come back as executive chairman to consider strategic alternatives. Wall Street bargain that points to a potential sale and help management renew contracts with media companies, allowing them to show its programming. Tuesday, McMahon was named executive chairman while his daughter Stephanie uh, stepped down as co-CEO. The next day, speculation over a potential deal took off. WWE could fetch top dollar, Wall Street says, as media companies increasingly strike partnerships with sports businesses to compete for viewers and ads in newer markets. All Elite Wrestling, the top rival to WWE, led by Tony Khan and family, is in the pool of potential buyers for WWE. A person close to the potential transaction told Barron's, I don't know who this website is, but we're using this place as a source, adding that the Khans will likely look for a financial partner to acquire the asset. Tony Khan's father, Shad Khan, the owner of the Jacksonville Jaguars football team, who had an incredible come-from-behind win last night in the playoffs, by the way, co-owner of AEW, already owns the football team, as I just mentioned, and the English soccer club, the Fulham Football Club, indicating the duo have deep pockets.
Oh
Uh,
yeah.
an offer from the Saudi Arabia Public Investment Fund, which backs the Gulf League, LIV, is more likely, though, given that WWE has prior relationships with the Kingdom of Saudi Arabia since 2018. WWE signed a 10-year contract with Saudi Arabia's General Sports Authority to hold wrestling competitions. The GSA paid about $50 million per event, according to the trade magazine WrestleNomics, in a deal that was signed despite backlash from the fans over the kingdom's human rights record. WWE stock rose 3.4% after markets opened Wednesday on a report that a deal had been reached with the Saudis. The stock gave up the gain close to closing 0.8% lower as doubts mounted that an agreement had been made. WWE and the Public Investment Fund didn't immediately respond to questions from Barron's. Comcast stands as another feasible acquirer. WWE has an exclusive streaming deal with NBC Universal's Peacock streaming service, which is now owned by Comcast. The company didn't respond to Barron's question, although CEO Brian Roberts said in October that given high interest rates, the bar is the highest it's been in terms of an MBA. Another potential buyer could be Endeavor, the company who owns the UFC. Its Mixed Martial Arts League, fully acquired in 2021, on a November call to discuss Endeavor's third quarter earnings. CEO Ariel Emanuel said premium sports and entertainment content is undeniably the most powerful tool for acquiring customers, and the company was looking at the marketplace for deals. So there you go. Those are your top buyers right now. I would also throw Fox in that ring because
No.
they have the deal. They have the deal with SmackDown.
Yeah,
Um,
but that's the only thing they got. And I mean, I think Disney. I think at first it's got to be NBC, and then it's Disney, and probably the Saudis.
what's going up, Flame Legend? I hit the like already. Appreciate it. What's up? He says hi to Casey.
Yep. What's up,
This
Fame?
we can talk now.
Hey,
Yes.
what's going on there,
What's
AJ?
going on, boys? What's going on? Well, my part of that you left out AEW because they threw their hats in there too.
No, you brought that up. He
Did he?
talked about-
I didn't-
Yeah,
yeah,
that
about the cons.
yeah, that was the first paragraph in the potential of buyers that was mentioned in the article.
I think AEW is going to be the one that's going to be doing it because I mean,
I hope not.
you guys want some Saudi Arabia to own it. I mean, what the fuck do they know about wrestling?
Well, I mean, all they really know is about money. I mean, I don't think they care about wrestling. If they can make money off it, that's what I see.
The only reason why I say AEW is the only viable option is because Tony Khan's a fucking mark just like the rest of us.
I really hope he
Knows
doesn't
what-
buy it because, as we know, ever since what, like 2010, WWE started getting stale because they had no real competition. We don't need AEW and WWE either merging to be one giant wrestling company like he's already merged Ring of Honor with AEW, pretty
Well,
much.
well,
But
technically, he's trying to have Ring of Honor as its separate entity.
right, but right now, while he's doing that, he's got Ring of Honor matches on AEW and vice versa. And
Yeah.
while granted, Tony Khan hasn't done that in the past couple of weeks, he has done it pretty heavily in the past. Battle of the Belts has been a heavily Ring of Honor centered hour of wrestling, which, by the way, I actually missed Battle of the Belts on Friday night. I got to go back and watch that. Anyways, I don't want to see AEW take control of the WWE. Now, it was fun to see Vince do it to WCW back in the day.
Why
But
is that?
I was also a
Hold
kid,
on,
so I
hold
was
on. Now,
also
now you're no. Now you're talking about a subject that's fucked up. It's monopolizing wrestling is not good. Yeah, I understand that, but WCW just because it died, WWE is fucking dying.
well.
People
That's,
say it's
Yeah.
not. It is.
Well, the product is dying while
the
they're
company's doing
making
pretty
more
well
and more.
financially.
Yeah, I mean, yeah, they're making more and more money by the quarter, but as the content, it's been garbage.
Yeah, I
Well,
mean, come on. I mean, I'd rather watch WCW 2000 over the product that's going on right now.
now
Eh.
what I was about to say about that was when Vince acquired WCW, I was only a kid. I was 11 years old when the product when Vince did that, so I didn't
I
know any
was
better.
I was 13 when that happened. I was pissed because I watched the last Nitro. I was
And
pissed when that
that's
happened.
another thing. I was one of those kids who took a side. I didn't watch WCW back in the day. Now, when the network came out and I went back and watched everything I missed as a kid, and when I was taking sides and I was only religiously watching WWE and didn't watch WCW until the network came out and I went back and watched all that old stuff, and now seeing what the WWE became because they had no real competition, knowing all that now, had I known all of that back then, no, I wouldn't want to see it then either. But now I really don't want to see it because of what I know now.
Vince buying WCW back then was the worst thing for professional wrestling.
Well, the thing is, it was going to be. I mean, if Bischoff got it, it would. I mean, how much longer would Bischoff had it running?
This is Bischoff would have ran it until he couldn't run it no more. Because I mean, come on, he's what, 65, 66 years old right now in 2023. So okay, so he can.
I mean, he looks good for that age.
I mean, if Vince could run a company into his fucking running into his 80s, Bischoff, I don't see why he couldn't do it.
I thought Vince is in his 70s.
Yeah, he's 76, but you know damn well that man's gonna run that company until he fucking dies.
Oh, definitely.
That's why I'm saying. That's why I'm saying if Vince could run his company into his 80s, why can't Bischoff do it? He could have done it. I'm sure he can.
Yeah, but the thing is, I mean, Bischoff wasn't actually going to own it. He had a group that was going to pay for the most of it.
TV, though, you guys, you gotta understand, there's no TV deal for TNT and TBS, so that's why Bischoff didn't get it.
Oh yeah, that's the
deal.
I mean, but he should have still picked it up. I mean, the library was still worth money. The company,
yeah. But what do you expect when they had shady fucking deals going on? When you had Brad Siegel's buddy that worked for WWF, though, sitting there spying the whole time, sitting there waiting, and to tell Vince, "Oh yeah, this is what they're doing," blah blah blah. It's a lot. They need to do a fucking documentary on that with Dark Side of the Ring with the fall of WCW, because to be honest with you, Guy Evans, he's done a lot of reporting on that on his book Nitro, and I keep telling everybody about this, how strongly you should read this book, because there's Turner executives that nobody fucking knows about, including Jamie Kellner, and everybody pulled the plug that was there that night. There was a lot of dark shit going on and a lot of shadow shit going on with that, and it's not conspiracy. This is actual like, and it crumpled it crumbled the industry. The wrestling industry hasn't recovered since WCW. I mean, really, AEW
Well,
a little bit.
it started to die after that. Yes, I agree. I mean, you never seen. I mean, every year it's end over end the viewership is going down. But I mean, yeah, the product is not as great, but it's also people are not really watching cable as they used to, too. So WWE is competing for those viewers, so there's less viewers on cable now. I mean, I barely watch cable.
Casey, they're not really competing. You don't see Dynamite on Mondays, and you don't see fucking Rampage going up against fucking SmackDown from 8 to 10. It's fucking 10 to 11 for Rampage. So they're not.
Honestly, if I would have, sorry to, I feel that it would have been better if they put Rampage before SmackDown than afterwards.
I think they should show both at the same time on same nights and see actually what. Because I mean, TNA did it for fucking what 10 weeks and then they left.
Yeah,
That was bullshit. But TNA's wasn't really competition then.
but the thing is, you're asking something. You have an AEW who's on cable on TNT against SmackDown that's on free TV, and you know who's going to win. I mean, SmackDown's getting 2 million viewers.
On FS1. They were
the nights they were on FS1, they did horrible numbers.
Yeah. So I mean,
I think a lot of times when they do that, they really don't promote it that much. And plus, I mean, you know you're getting less viewers when you go to cable. And FS1, I mean that's a like a sister channel of Fox Sports. I mean, that's like being on ESPN3.
Look at that look at that show they did, WWE Backstage, that like live talk show, kind of like podcast style thing. They even signed CM Punk for that, and they still couldn't even bring even 100,000 viewers to that shit.
And that's why that shit got canceled.
Exactly.
Yeah, they did.
So out of these potential buyers, if anyone was to buy the WWE, who would you want to see take possession of it?
You're talking about me, right?
No, all of you. You could all give your point one at a time. You go. I'll start with you, AJ.
I already said AEW because, like I said, Tony Khan's a fucking mark just like us. So, who else? I want some Saudi Arabia's having them.
I wouldn't want that either. Definitely not.
Or Comcast or any of them.
I certainly wouldn't want Disney fucking owning them either.
Because this, I tell you too about that. With people that are saying that they want Universal to own it or NBC. NBC's a network. What happened to WCW when they weren't making the money they were doing? They went out of business too. It was the same way with Turner.
Well, I mean, honestly, yeah, it'd be great if AEW gets it because I felt like you said, I think Tony Khan actually cares about wrestling.
Yes, I don't like him very much, but he loves wrestling.
Yeah, Vince don't like wrestling. He's always trying to do something else that's not wrestling related, and he keeps failing.
Yeah, haven't you not noticed? Like you watch Raw or SmackDown, there's not even that many wrestling matches. There's probably like 5 wrestling matches out on a 3-hour show. Most of them are promos or backstage segments. It's like enough with the bullshit, man. We want to see wrestling.
And if you do get a match, you're lucky if it's 5 minutes long.
We can't say wrestling. That's the dirty word. Sports entertainment.
Right.
Well, technically, you could say wrestling now. They made it okay to say that, but now with Vince back, it's probably different again.
So how long do you think everything Triple H has done over the past 6 months gets wiped away?
Oh, in a fucking opinion, I say about like a week or 2.
No, that's a lot of things to undo. 6 months worth of stuff.
Vince fucking canned everybody in a fucking day.
I get 2 months.
2 months, Michael. You give it until WrestleMania, and Vince will undo everything
Yeah.
Triple H did.
Yeah.
I kind of agree with
After
Mikhail.
the
I mean, after WrestleMania.
You think that's
I,
when Vince will hit the reset button and say, "I'm back in charge now,
pretty much.
and now I'm going to be writing the shows again."
Well, I mean, I think he'll let Triple H write till WrestleMania. He'll see how the Royal Rumble does and WrestleMania does, and then if he does a good job, maybe
What's
he'll
going
let
on,
Triple H
Tex?
to continue. If not,
Casey's Raw sucks, he says.
yeah, he's lucky I didn't time it out for that. I'm holding back right now for that. Hold on, hey, Tex just said wrestling's gays, but how did that not get questionable for that? You figure with that should have been up for a review, right?
I watched the cool characters and storylines, not fake fighting. I had a
well,
feeling somebody was going to come on here and say something like that.
well, I mean, it's still, even though it's fake fighting, it's still athletic. It's to me, it's more athletic than
Yeah.
NASCAR.
You tell them to their face.
Fuck you, KT.
Oh,
Hold on. I think. I mean, yes, you have to be in shape being NASCAR, but I mean, how hard is to just
No,
do
it's
this?
Soft text to have him call in.
Casey, you're asking for it.
You fucking
I, no, I think. No, I think Tex might agree. I think the person who would argue, minus Mikhail apparently, would be Compton.
All I'm gonna say is
I'm just throwing out people's names on here. Are you trying to pull fucking Friday Night Raw or fucking Wednesday Night Nitro?
I'm just gonna say this. Tex, you can call it fake fighting all you want, but I want you to say that to the real people that get real injuries from fake fighting. Let's see how far that gets you.
And what about people who
What's going
dies
on
from
Twitch?
who dies in fake wrestling? You know, I mean,
Twitch bullshit still, are you, Rose?
What's that?
You're not on that stupid ass Twitch anymore after fucking what happened that last time, are you?
Yeah, I'm still trying. I got rid of those people and they haven't came back. So,
Okay.
Casey, if
That
you
was
time out Tex,
bullshit.
I'm gonna kick your ass for losing a viewer.
but
Bro.
but I feel like I say that wrestling is definitely more athletic than NASCAR.
I mean, the only fake thing about wrestling is the fact that, yeah, you go out there, they all know what's going to happen before they go out there and put on a show for the people. But the real risk for injury is still there, just like in anything else. That's why I wouldn't call it, I would call it predetermined or scripted. I wouldn't call it fake. I would call it rigged, maybe.
Well, sometimes, wrestlers, they'll be like, oh, what's the key points? And then they'll go out and they'll call it on the spot, I mean, there's some people who has to write every match. I mean, every move of a match through. Like Macho Man, he would have to go over every little thing before he goes into the match, to the point it drives people crazy. And some people say, let's just go in there and see what happens,
Tex says NASCAR drivers are different athletes than wrestlers. He says NASCAR drivers, they're both athletic, but NASCAR drivers train like long distance runners do.
See, the thing is, I mean, how hard is it like when you're driving, like, oh, I'm doing a left turn. I'm doing our left turn.
Casey can answer this. Casey could be one of. What about sumo wrestlers? Because Casey, you could be a sumo wrestler.
Oh, I think I'm not heavy enough to be a sumo wrestler. I mean, Bullfrog might. I mean, we might.
I'd like to draw out the two big ones in the group. That's what I thought you were gonna say.
No, we would get Bullfrog and Tommy, and we'll get them, dress them up, and have them do it.
I don't know, man. Tommy isn't as fat as people think he is. I don't think.
He got big.
Did he? I
don't
haven't
Yes.
seen him. I haven't seen him on any shows in months.
Yeah.
Yeah, he got big. He's been on Ken's show lately. He's big. He's a big boy now.
Yeah.
That's unfortunate.
I'll send. Tex wants to call in now, so
Oh boy, you're asking for it, Casey.
Oh, shit.
Hang on, I'll call and school Casey. Well, before we get Tex on here to further run this show off the rails, I'm just gonna say that, in my opinion, I don't care who buys WWE as long as they don't drive the product into the fucking ground. In my opinion, personally, I wouldn't want to see Tony Khan own it because I want to see healthy competition. And if Tony Khan monopolizes wrestling,
Yeah.
there ain't going to be a competition, just like it wasn't for all those years until AEW came out.
Love to see the evil WWE just die. I mean, I would.
Oh, I mean, WWE's gone down, but I don't want to see it die. I want to see it get better.
But it's so old. It needs to die. They're like they always say, nothing lasts.
No, it don't.
Eddie Guerrero. He would need to eat more burgers to be a sumo wrestler. Oh, shit.
Well, like we said, Casey could be death by cheeseburger. We did say
No.
that.
So, you guys got any more thoughts on this whole situation that's been going on with the WWE, with Stephanie stepping down, Vince being back in power? The company was sold, then it wasn't sold, and now you got these potential buyers. Who's going to get it? What's going on with it?
Bro, I
I-
think Peacock might buy it.
You mean NBC?
Yeah.
I agree with Mikkel. I think it's gonna be NBC or who's the main company behind it, because not only they have Monday Night Raw, they had their history with WWE.
Yeah, but they've been censoring the fuck out of it lately.
Yeah, you
Look
really
what-
want
Oh,
more.
me? Do you
Look what
think I
they've
want the?
look what they've been doing to their shit on Peacock. They don't even have half of what the WWE network had before
No.
Vince sold the rights to Peacock.
Yeah, I mean, do I want that on Peacock? No. I mean, one, Peacock is horrible.
Add text, Casey. He's calling in.
Okay.
Uh-oh.
I tried to call him in, unless that's a different name.
Let me see if I don't remember how to add people on Skype. I don't do this enough to remember.
Let me see if I can try again. Because I tried. I mean,
Call. Okay, I got him.
alright.
Uh-oh.
Uh-oh.
All right, ladies and gentlemen, Big Tex. We are actually getting a crowded call tonight. What's going on, Tex? Do we have
I
him?
don't see him.
I thought we had him. I thought I heard him
No.
pick up.
No, I was like, I don't see him.
I don't.
I don't see him.
Yeah, I thought he picked up.
Well,
Well,
let me
he's
see.
he's added to the call now.
Let me try call. Oh,
Yeah, he's added in here. He just has to answer.
He's
I-
got to join.
I'm not sure if this is actual Texas curtain Skype.
Unless he has two Skypes.
Yeah.
So, but no, I don't want the NBC to have it because Peacock sucks. I mean, if Disney would get it, I think Disney.
No.
Yes, to be woke? No, thank you. I don't want to woke WWE.
I mean, how hold on, how woke is
Very-
Marvel?
very-
Tex has a new Skype. Okay, so I gotta
And-
accept that. Yeah, he got a new Skype. So let me see. How do I add him now?
You gotta go to invite.
Yeah, that's what I'm looking for. Like I said, I don't do this enough to remember how to do it.
But I think Marvel's not very woke. I think Star Wars is getting a little woke, but a lot of times Disney would let Marvel do its thing. I mean, would they say,
Yeah.
hey, make sure you're not going to do something racist or sexist? But I think they'll let them. And then Disney Plus is actually a very good streaming service. Actually, I think it's probably the best one out there.
All
So
right.
if these product
Yeah,
goes on
I
there,
do.
We should have text now. As soon as he answers. He is added now.
but
Oh,
if I wish it'd be anything, I mean, I would love to see Tony Khan to get it, but I don't think the family has enough money,
They have a lot of
especially
Casey,
fence.
what?
They have
he
deeper fence.
already we on the your mom told me,
Oh no!
huh?
I think we got text now. Text, we got you now?
Oh,
Yo, what's up?
Oh, what's going on? Uh-oh, Tex. What's going on? Big Tex. We got ourselves a bit of a crowded call for once. This is new for my channel.
Yeah, no, I'm not here to derail the show or anything, but I do have to call out nonsense when I hear it. So, first of all, let's address the Casey. You time me out, I'll never appear on your show. And let's face it, I am your ratings, so not want to do that.
And if you cost me any viewers, I'm gonna have to fucking put you in the ground.
I'll tell you what, Rose. If I cost you viewers, you can do as you need to.
No, I'm talking to Casey. If he costs me viewers, if Casey costs me any viewers, I'm gonna have to put him in the ground.
But no. I do want to address the non-wokeness that Casey thinks that Marvel is. I'm going to tear him up on that in a minute. But, okay. Is a pro wrestler an athlete? Of course. Look at it. You can't say they're not. Have you ever seen the training regimen of a just NASCAR driver or a pit crew member?
See, I can understand a pit crew because they have to get those tires on real freaking quick. But it's also, I think, isn't it just one lug nut and that's on there instead of having, or it's a bunch, they have the lug nuts already on the tire rim.
The new cars, instead of having 6 lug nuts, smaller ones, they have one bigger one, just like Indy cars do.
Yeah.
But they have them glued to the wheel, so when you put the wheel on the car, you just hit it with the wrench and you can go.
Yeah.
But okay, do you realize how hot it gets in one of those cars?
Oh yeah,
well over 100 degrees. Plus, you're wearing the fire suit with layers underneath. I think it's either 10 or 15 pounds drivers lose every race just sweating and constantly in one of those cars. You have to have the mental clarity to be able to. Oh, it's not just turn left. It is imagine going 200 miles an hour on a mile and a half track with 30 other cars around you. Let's say. Do you think you can do that?
Yes.
And not only
Yes,
that, you have to be aware of your surroundings at all times, because if God forbid someone else loses control of their car, you got to be aware of their surroundings and your own surroundings to keep yourself safe.
Here in a couple weeks, they'll be at Daytona. Okay, that track, the angle is pretty much like this. It's almost like a 75-degree angle. I've been on the track. You can't walk up it hardly. You're going over 200 miles an hour, inches away from other cars, and just the air that is traveling in between. Yes, it's not muscles like a Brock Lesnar has. That's what I'm saying. It's a different kind of athlete. It's a complete different. It's apples to oranges here. It's not the same thing. So saying a pro wrestler is more athletic than a NASCAR driver, well, no crap. That that is what it is. But I'd like to see Roman Reigns get in one of these cars and go win a NASCAR race. Do you see what I'm saying?
Well, but they're trained to race, though. I mean,
Are they not trained to wrestle?
Well, I mean, some of the wrestlers, they'll
train.
some of them go to school, and some of them just go to the performance center, and then they're being trained.
Is that not? Is that? I mean, I could argue going to the performance center would maybe be the best training you could get to be a pro wrestler.
Well, I feel like you don't have to be as of an athlete. Yes, you're wearing that, have the fire protection stuff, but I mean, I'm guaranteed they'll probably have something to keep them like liquids on there. There's probably got to be like water bottles.
Well, of course, yes, because otherwise they would die in the car from heat stroke. That that could very easily happen. But is a think about it. It race takes about 2 to 3 hours. You're sitting in this confined chair, literally strapped. You're strapped in a rocket that's on wheels. That's what you're in. So you might not be 300 pounds, 6'5", jacked up, can do a power bomb and jump over the top rope, but don't say that they're not an athlete. That's what I'm saying. It takes, like I said, you have to have the inner core strength. You have to be conditioned. You have to be in shape. Literally, these NASCAR teams, they hire the same professional trainers that do all the other athletes for NASCAR drivers. They have whole colleges that all they worry about is the health and wellness of these guys. So, you can't really compare one or the other.
Well, you have to be skinny because if you can't be a fat NASCAR driver and win.
Right.
Like,
well, you can't be a fat NASCAR driver and even get in the car. I mean, have you seen them climb in the window?
I think I could squeeze through that window if I wanted to.
I don't think so, Casey.
I promise you could not.
Frederico Garza. Frederico says, "I bet Casey gives up less than one lap in."
Oh, come on.
The G-force alone, I guarantee you, Casey wouldn't make one lap around a track. I can guarantee you that. It's a... Just go back and listen to these driver interviews about what it's like in the race. The mental exhaustion, the heat, the wear and tear on your body that it takes. It's a whole different animal that you're dealing with here.
Yeah, but they get used to that shit. I mean,
do you get used to being cooked every week? That's not something you get used to. You work in the heat, right? During summertime and everything else.
And he can't stand it. He has to go home and take a nap.
You don't get used to it. That's something that it's works against the human condition here. You know what I'm saying?
I mean, honestly, they get used to it because they do it for years on end.
Right. Oh, that's what I'm saying. Because why? They're athletes. Thank you. You're just making my case for me.
And they're training for that shit.
But I mean, like what I do for a living, if I don't do this type of work for like a month, my body will ache. If I remember like a month and a half, like I was out of work, and then when I started working again, my body ached for 2 weeks because I hadn't done this for a while, and because I'll be lugging 75-pound brake drum, or moving tires around, or just it's something heavy,
So, okay, let me ask you a question then, Casey. So, would you say what part of what makes a WWE wrestler an athlete is their physical conditioning about how to take a power bomb and get back up? Would that be part of their training?
Yeah.
So, by that measurement, would you then also say that getting hit by a car that's going 200 mile an hour, getting slammed into a wall, possibly flipping over multiple times and crawling out of that vehicle also makes them an athlete?
No.
How is that?
Because I mean,
Makes them lucky as hell, if you ask me.
yeah, I agree with that. Because
So
I mean,
the wrestlers, so when Mick Foley gets thrown off of Hell in the Cell and he lands through a table and he's laying on the floor, he's an athlete. But when
no, I wouldn't say that.
random, okay, all of your AEW guys that you like to see flip and twist and do flat back bumps on concrete, they're athletes, right? They're the
That's
real
athletic.
athletes.
Yes, I say.
So it's athletic to jump off the ring, do a flat back bump onto the concrete, almost break your neck, but getting hit by a car, knowing how to brace your body, getting hit by the wall, flipping and crawling out of that's not athletic.
I mean, you're trained to do that. You're prepared to take that hit.
So you're not trained in preparing to take the flat back bump in wrestling?
Well, I'm just saying, like athletes, like wrestling, when you're doing those flips you're talking about, the flip is athletic, while the bump is, I wouldn't consider that as the athletic part. I mean,
see, Casey, I know why you constantly need people to speak for you legally, because you can't argue your shit through a wet paper bag.
I mean, I know it pisses people off when I say like NASCAR is not an athlete.
It's like
no, you don't. No, you're not going to make me mad. It's a stupid argument. It means nothing. It's whatever. I'm just pointing out the obvious.
It's like Tex. It's like Tex. Hold on, Casey. It's like Tex says. They're a different breed of athlete. You still gotta train for it. You still gotta train for it. It's a different style. It's a different style of training. You go through different, scenarios, different regiments, and whatnot. Obviously, a NASCAR driver's not gonna go out there and fucking, go through a fucking 8-minute, 10-minute wrestling match, or expect them to fucking take a power bomb through a fucking table, or fall off a fucking ladder, or do this or whatever. It's just like you're not going to expect the wrestler to get in a NASCAR and go flying 180 miles an hour around the fucking circle 500 times.
Actually, what about Sparkplug Holly? He's a NASCAR driver, wasn't he?
See, Casey, if I really wanted to embarrass you, I could really argue that the pro wrestling that you love so much is more akin to gymnastics than it is anything.
Especially
watch
AEW.
You know what?
Flip, twist, jump. Hold my hand while I jump over this top rope, and then I'll do a 360 in the air, and you catch me. So pro wrestlers can either be gymnasts or cheerleaders. Which one do you want me to call them? Because I can go either way.
Actually, I kind of agree.
Especially if it's AEW, because they're a heck of a lot less professional than WWE is about it.
Yeah, I hate when. I love when they do they fly through the air, but when there's like 20 of them ready to catch them, I mean, that kind of breaks the reality for me. I'd rather see one person there to take the hit or catch than 20 of them waiting.
Just watching any Young Bucks match makes me pissed off.
Well, and I'll tell you the other thing that really has ruined pro wrestling for me. Obviously, I know it's not real. I know the Undertaker's not a real dead man. I know all of this. I'm not stupid.
Well, he's not a real dead man now. He's a piker again.
Right. But what I'm saying is, when I see two guys, come SummerSlam, I'm going to kill you. And then the next day on Twitter, I see them taking pictures together at dinner.
Yeah.
That obviously I know this isn't real, but at least stick with the illusion here. This is all I'm saying. Whereas
that's why we've always said the internet has ruined wrestling.
Oh, definitely. I agree.
Very much so. It very much has. I mean, when I think the main feud that really stood out to me was when Roman Reigns was fighting Braun Strowman a couple years ago.
Yeah, and then they were taking pictures together. I forgot what event it was.
They were like on vacation or something together. I can't remember what it was, and I'm looking at them like, this is why are you doing this? Like, this is just ridiculous. But, like, if you have Kevin Harvick and Kyle Busch in NASCAR, right, and Kevin Harvick ruined Kyle Busch's race last weekend, there's a legitimate chance you might see them fist fighting one another. And it's not shoot, or I mean, it's not kayfabe. It's a shoot fight. They'll be down in the pits with wrenches and everything else. Does it happen as often? No. But there's always that little chance. You know what I'm saying?
I mean, Tony Stewart was
Look
infamous
at
for having fights.
the football game today, Tex. When Josh Allen threw that interception, he got
Oh,
pissed.
yeah.
He started fucking throwing hands at one of the Dolphins players.
Yeah. I was like, let these dudes go. This is great. I
And
like
And then he starts a fight
Yeah.
and doesn't get penalized for it.
Hold on.
I'm not sure he pushed first, but I'm pretty sure that my Miami lineman was talking crap back to him.
Yeah.
And that's what caused it. I
Yeah.
think that was a going both ways kind of thing.
Yeah.
See,
But either way, that fight was amazing, or it could have been amazing, but they stopped it.
well, I mean, how do we know that that fight wasn't predetermined?
Because
I mean,
I don't
because this is-
understand how people can claim that football is rigged. I don't understand.
I can tell you exactly how. I can tell you exactly how because I firmly believe in it too. Look at how, on this play, you can straight up murder the quarterback. The quarterback gets creamed right into the ground, but it's in the first quarter of the game, so they let it go. But they want the other team to kind of keep pace and keep it exciting, so the ending of the game is high paced and it's on the line, right? Then 2 minutes left to go. Oh, pass interference. Well, he didn't even touch the guy. He didn't have his arm wrapped around him. How many times have you seen judgment calls by referees that you either it just looks fake? It just
There's a couple of them in today's game.
no, that's what I'm saying. I saw one in the Vikings Giants game, like the roughing the passer call that the Giants got put on. How was that roughing the passer? That Kirk Cousins
when they still had the ball too.
Well, that's what I'm saying. The Vikings had the ball, and to keep them competitive, they gave them that roughing the passer to get them a fresh set of downs or whatever. But obviously, football itself is real. But I very much believe in that there is a control system within the referees to kind of keep things however they want it to be. You know what I mean?
And then it's just up to the players to fucking pretty much have to earn the win for themselves, if you're thinking that way.
Well, think about it. How much money is on the line within these games? From Vegas alone. We know Vegas is in on all of this. It's. I mean, obviously, this is conspiracy theory, whatever you want to call it, but I think there's something to it. I just think there really is.
It's beyond Vegas. This stuff is online nowadays. I mean, that's why you have DraftKings nowadays.
DraftKings, FanDuel, Bet365. They got so many of them out there now.
Yeah. So I mean,
okay, hang on, Casey. What spawned you to just all of a sudden to decide to watch football today?
Because I just wanted to.
Folks, welcome to the part of the show where we don't talk about any of our topics.
Oh, I'm sorry. I don't. If you've got topics, please go ahead. I'm just gonna kind of.
No, I only got one left, but I want to hear you tearing to Casey. This is more important. That's more interesting.
Oh no, I'm just curious. So to your own credit, you've watched this many football games all year. You've kept that up for 19 weeks now. Why at 19 weeks did you just all of a sudden just watch football all day?
And not his own team, no less.
Not even the Dallas Cowboys that you say you're a fan of, even though you wear Jets jerseys, which I question. But hey, it's okay.
Well, granted, those were my wife's jerseys.
I know, wives' jerseys, yada yada.
Yeah, but I mean, they also look good.
I get it.
So wait, now you're admitting to wait. Now you're admitting to wear women's clothing too?
They're actually men's jersey. I mean, some women. I mean, if it was,
we might need to see the tag on this jersey to confirm if it's gender neutral or specific. That's all I'm saying.
Well, hold on. You know how a lot of times the women's jerseys look nowhere near like the real thing, right? They kind of look like almost generic, and they're like very tight against the
No,
skin.
I bought.
Yes.
I bought. Well, yes, obviously it's a different cut for women. I've bought my kids female cowboy jerseys. I mean, I know what you're talking about. But let's say, let's say it's a larger size, you might be able to compensate for that. Is what I'm saying.
I'm pretty sure it's more leaning to men than women, but she likes. See, my late wife and my sister are two big time football people, and like they would. I don't know what my sister wears, but my late wife, she actually wore real jerseys. So
Those are
not like
Well, see, what I'm going to take away from this conversation and tell everybody is that Casey wears women's clothes. That's what I'm going to tell everybody.
you know what?
So-
Fine, that's fine.
There really must be something behind that story from Friday night now that's really starting to click together.
Oh God, we're moving on from that shit.
Casey,
Yeah, so
just remember, everybody. Casey wears women's clothing all the time. That's what.
But I mean, it's good looking jerseys. I mean, especially when there's a Brett Favre Jet jersey. He's only been with the Jets for 1 year before he moved on to the Vikings for a couple years.
He said it had to be Brett Favre. You couldn't get Chad Pennington or somebody else.
Well, see, the thing was, I said this on another channel. I think it was on Drew's channel or mine. That the one time I wore it, like the first few months I was back in Oklahoma. My sister was here, and we were having a big family dinner. And my sister is a big Green Bay Packers fan, and she used to love Brett Favre. So just to kind of mess with her, needle her a little bit. So I was like,
Fished your sister? Is that what you just did?
no. I said needle her.
Oh God!
Needle
Casey
her.
fisted his sister, guys. Oh my God, this is horrible.
is that
But-
what they do in Oklahoma?
No.
It is one of them states.
But so we went to family dinner, and just to mess with her, I wore the Brett Favre's Jets jersey just to mess with her, and I knew, and that was intentional, just to mess with her, to get a rise out of her because she.
So, how much football did you watch today?
I think he told me a game and a half, or about a game total.
Yeah, a game total about little of the first half of the first game, and
Okay.
about little half of the second game, because I felt
So you didn't watch the third game, Cincinnati and the Ravens at all?
no, I did not.
Dude, you missed a hell of a play. Did y'all see that stand on the goal line? Oh my gosh!
Yeah, I did.
So Tex, you wanted to rip into Casey about some Marvel shit too. What's been going on with that?
Oh yeah. So, sorry, I'm watching football while I'm on the show. I'm being very unprofessional. My apologies. But no,
Well,
so
not much
okay.
professional with Case McKell and his mom in the back room. That's all I keep hearing.
Yeah,
So,
even though I
Casey,
keep
you
muting it, he keeps muting himself.
So Casey, you believe that Disney, Star Wars, and Marvel is not woke?
I feel Star Wars is a little woke, while I think Marvel is not as woke as people say it is.
So, did you watch the newest trilogy of Star Wars films that Disney produced?
Yeah.
I don't like Star Wars, and I heard they were really bad.
I don't mind the later trilogy. It's not as good as the original trilogy, but I think it's better than the prequel trilogy.
So, when Disney Star Wars has a main character that's female, that literally has no struggle whatsoever, it's okay. Imagine Luke Skywalker from the original trilogy,
Yeah.
but but it's a female, she just knows how to do everything. When she comes into a situation, there's no struggle, there's no strife. She always comes out on top. There's never like Luke Skywalker gets his hand cut off in part 2, right? None of that happens to her. And all of a sudden, it's just there. She's got it. And then she appropriates the name Skywalker when that's not even her name. So she steals somebody's last name. She's a Mary Sue, and that's a movie term for basically a female hero that just can do everything. There's no limitations. There's no anything. She's the definition of a Mary Sue.
Well, I mean, she got her powers because she was the daughter of the Emperor Palpatine. So I mean, that could explain why she had some of those powers. But I mean,
because she's born, she doesn't even she trains for like 5 minutes in these movies. When Luke, like the first 2 whole films, that's basically all, and even the beginning of the 3rd, he's like even not really fully trained yet. But not just her, but what's the blue-haired chick name from the second one? They literally had a blue-haired woman that's just like one of these Antifa chicks that just talks down to men during the whole movie. But they're not
character.
Huh?
Laura Dern from Jurassic Park. That's the character you're talking about, right?
Yeah, I think so. I couldn't remember her name, but she's like a blue-haired chick. Yeah, she's like constantly putting down that one dude in the movie.
That dude, right?
Well, I did say Star Wars was a little woke.
It is woke.
Okay, well, then let's move to Marvel. So, what you don't think Marvel is what?
It's not as woke as Star Wars. I mean, yes, in War Game. I mean, not War Games. I meant at Endgame, they had that one moment where all the female superheroes took on Thanos. But that was just that moment for that scene. I mean, I enjoyed, God, what's it called? Captain Marvel. So,
did you watch any of the interviews that Brie Larson, who plays Captain Marvel, did for that movie?
No.
Prior to this movie coming out, she was openly going on interviews saying, if you're a male, this movie was not made for you. Openly chastising and criticizing white males for their white privilege and the patriarchy and all of this nonsense. And then when Captain Marvel, the movie that you say that you like, that's one of the least popular and made the least amounts of money Marvel films. Like Brie Larson, go back and watch interviews where it's her with the rest of the Avengers cast. There is so much angst between her and Don Cheadle, the guy who plays War Machine, I believe the character's name is. Yeah. You can just tell that they don't like each other.
Really?
Not just that, but okay. When Marvel was great, you had Tony Stark, right? Iron Man, Steve Rogers, Captain America, Thor, you had Hulk, you had all of those, right? Well, Iron Man's gone. Who's he replaced with? A black chick. Captain America's gone. Who's he replaced with? A black guy. Hulk, he's still there, but now we have She-Hulk that literally twerks in her TV show and chastises Hulk about how much better she is than he is at being a Hulk when he's been doing it for like 20 years and she just became a Hulk. So that's a whole thing within and of itself. Then we have Black Panther, now a woman. There's a lot of wokeness in this Marvel stuff here.
The guy who played Black Panther died, though.
So what does that matter? So that means you change your fucking gender altogether of the character?
Oh, they probably had
what's so funny. That's what's so funny with this. Go ahead, Casey.
I was about to say that's probably why they had to change directions. I mean, they probably had no idea about the guy's cancer until after the first movie. I mean, I'm sure they were planning to use him for the second Black Panther, but then he died before they even start.
But see, that's the thing. Whenever Chadwick Boseman passed away, Obviously, it was tragic. He was a beloved character. I liked the Black Panther character. I thought he was cool. But he passes away. And then Kevin Feige, the head of Marvel, and everybody else says, well, we're not going to recast the role. We're just going to move on, because technically in the comic book, there are female Black Panthers, but the way in which it's done and all of the other wokeness that Marvel presents, it just adds to it, is what I'm saying. When you look at this kind of thing, it's everywhere in it. It's the subtle little hints. Even in the Captain America and Winter Soldier series that's on Disney Plus, full of woke garbage nonsense. I tried to watch it because Captain America has most of my favorite Marvel films. Captain America Winter Soldier is probably my favorite one. I love that movie. But this whole thing's preaching. It's very preachy. It's very, very. I don't want to spoil it for anyone who hasn't seen it, but once you watch it, you'll see what the wokeness that I'm talking about. Marvel is bad with it. That's all I'm saying.
I can understand now. I mean, that's good points. I mean, I do see the wokeness now. I mean,
I've seen it a while ago, even with the Star Wars movies.
I'm not saying all of Marvel is bad, because there's parts of it I enjoy. Hell, we talk about it almost weekly over on Harsh Truth. I mean, there's something Marvel that gets brought up. There's parts of it I enjoy, but like Frank wanted to review She-Hulk, I couldn't do it. I was like, I'm sorry, but this is just, it's horrible. It was just awful.
I don't think it's that bad, but it is where, like you said, that she is degrading Hulk, the original Hulk, because I mean she's acting like she's way better than the original Hulk. So I mean,
well, it's to really see how bad the wokeness is in Marvel these days. You have to look back to look forward. Go back to where it was when it was great, and to see how it degraded over the years is what I'm saying. And obviously, political agendas have took over in this, and it is what it is. But Marvel and Disney aren't the only villains in this here. Hell, Halloween Ends. Go back and watch the 3-hour plus beat down of that piece of crap that we did, and hear me crap about the social commentary of that too. It's all movies. It's all television. We talked about an upcoming movie, Them. It's a monster movie about gigantic radioactive ants. That's from 1954. That's being remade. They're going to put a social commentary, wokeness, if you will, about immigration in that film. Why does that need to be in that film? It's in everything these days. It's not just Marvel. It's in DC. It's in Star Wars. It's in Harry Potter. It's in everything that you watch. If you look for it, you're going to find it. That's the problem.
Frank says you didn't miss much, Tex.
Frank's
yeah, so
Frank and I have fun talking about movies and stuff. That's why I like being over.
So real quick, I just want to explain the poll question real quick. So earlier in the show, we talked about the YouTube's new policy changes and shit, and apparently how YouTube now has a discretion to charge back money content creators earned on their monetized videos after YouTube deems them no longer monetizable. So basically, what I was saying to Casey earlier was, let's say, for instance, I'll use you now as an example, Tex, because you'll probably understand this better than he did. So, Tex, let's say you're a big YouTuber, right? You have a video that's monetized, you're making money on it, right? Let's say you made $1,000 on that video, let's say 3 months ago. Then YouTube tomorrow, the video you made money on 3 months ago, they decide is no longer eligible for monetization. Should YouTube have the right to say, well, we want the money back now. You made money on this video we no longer deem monetizable, but you made money on it, now we want that money back. Should they be allowed to do that? Should they have the right to do that? Should they have the right to take money back that you earned on a video they no longer deem worthy of ad revenue after you already made the money on that video and we're already paid it.
Yeah, hell no. That's a hard no, and that's not only a no, but I would pull every bit of my content from YouTube and go to some other streaming site just to say screw you to YouTube, because if that's the agenda politics that you're going to play here, well, I'm going to take my ball and go home.
So the only
that to me.
Yes, I did. Yes, I did.
No, you said once it go demonetized, that's it.
Yes.
I was like,
Casey, what I was saying was if you had a video 3 months ago that you made money on, and then starting tomorrow, YouTube decides you can't have ads on that video anymore and it's demonetized, then should they have the right to want that money back that you already made on a video, they no longer deem monetizable. Now,
then I would say no.
The only what I would agree with what Drew was saying, well, if they made a mistake and they overpaid you on the video, they have the right to want that money back. That I agree with. If they made a mistake,
okay,
stupid.
but that's asking a different question.
Right.
Overpaying.
Right, and that's what Drew was saying.
And valuing differently are apples and oranges. Here.
Right, and that's what Drew was saying, because I made a point to Drew. I said, well, he said if they're fixing a mistake and it's an overpayment sort of thing, then I can see them wanting the money back, because then, yeah, they made a mistake, they caught it, they're fixing it, okay, you get your money back. But if they're waiting, if they're paying you for something you earned, ads played on that video, you made the money from it, you got paid for it, and then weeks or months later, they decide, well, that video doesn't get ads anymore, and then they want to charge you back for money you already made previously? Fuck that shit.
Yeah, I said no.
Replace YouTube with your job, whatever your job may be. And your boss says, hey, you remember that paycheck that I gave you 6 months ago? Yeah, we're going to need that back because that work you did 6 months ago is not valid anymore. We don't like the work that you did there. That's not how, no, sorry. But that's the problem. I mean, YouTube is a private entity. They have the right to do whatever they see fit. But content creators don't have to go to YouTube. There's Vimeo. There's Rumble.
Yeah,
there's all other kinds of video
Rumble's
sites.
starting to take off. Yeah, Rumble's starting to take off.
Right. There's Facebook Live. There's all kinds of video, ways that you can do. YouTube is not the only show in town anymore. You know what I mean?
No,
so if YouTube is smart, they'll treat their content creators better. But
actually, Anani and Steve Callan actually said that earlier. He said, if I think AJ Rader might have even said it in chat. And they were saying that YouTube should pay the creators more.
Oh yeah.
Oh,
they should pay the creators a lot more money than what they fucking are. So penny on the dollar.
Instead of finding ways to fuck us over nowadays, or rather them, because we can't make money yet. And Frank said stuff like this is the reason why I'm likely not going to apply for monetization. What's the point if YouTube is going to screw me every chance they get?
Right. I mean, what happens if we're reviewing a movie like Terrifier 2 that just came out this last year that has gratuitous violence in it? I mean, just the most hardcore violence that you've seen in a film. I loved it. And I was talking about it on Frank's channel. What if they found that as harmful content?
They already are, Tex. They're going after the video game violence now. That's as fake as it gets. Video game characters are fake people. How can you take what you see in a video game, like Mortal Kombat, for instance? Yeah, it may look real, but they're not real characters. They're not real named people. Like I said earlier, how can you age restrict the video from being deemed too violent for violent acts on what they consider to be a real named person? I said to Casey, I said because attacking somebody in Mortal Kombat named Sub-Zero is attacking a real person.
What about something like a character from a movie? I mean, that's not a real person. So,
well, that's what I was pointing out before Rose was talking right there. If I'm talking about Art the Clown using a handsaw on somebody and cutting their head off or something, I'm not doing anything wrong. I'm just reporting what I saw. But if their rules say, oh, this is harmful, violent content or whatever nonsense term they want to put on it. They're a private entity under our laws and rules. They have the right to do that, but I also have the right to not contribute to your communistic site that you're operating. I'll go elsewhere, or I won't do it at all.
I've been trying to make Drew understand this for like the past week or two. I don't know if any of you guys on Twitter see me and Drew going back and forth about how YouTube's been cracking down lately. But he's like,
Right.
I've been playing GTA and they say the N-word, and he showed a screenshot of his GTA streams are fully monetized. I'm like, I call you lucky as hell. That's what I call that.
That seems to be the thing. Certain, I mean, that like I don't know about the video game side, but in the horror world, there are some horror channels that review movies, and they will show like 6-second, clips of the film, and then pause it and then talk, and then they'll show still images, and they don't touch them. They completely let them get away with it. And then others, if they even have a screenshot of the film, they get demonetized and pulled right down.
Oh yeah.
So it's very hypocritical the way that they operate their side.
I believe YouTube definitely has their favorites, no question.
Oh yeah, I mean Drew's got hit with a copyright for a GIF, and I got hit. Same thing. I got hit with a copyright on a GIF too. So I'm like,
well, yeah. I mean, not to talk bad about Casey here, but I mean, Casey's a small time YouTuber. I mean, for one of his videos to get, I mean, AJ, what did the Wednesday show get the other day? 150 something or whatever.
160 views.
Yeah. Okay. 160 views. That's huge, especially for a small time YouTube channel.
yeah.
So for YouTube to try to demonetize somebody who gets that low of views in the scope of things, how much sense does that make? How many people are actually seeing that video? Is it being shadow banned, or is it being sent out at all?
And then, once it gets age restricted, then you're taking away one of the age demographics that wouldn't even be able to find it anymore.
Right.
See, the thing is, I feel like, let's say, if you age restricted, let's say you had to be adult, and you could watch the very uncensored version. You could say "fuck" the first second you can come on the stream, and you could talk and you could show clips and stuff. I feel like you should be. You don't have to worry about it.
There's a perfect example of YouTube censorship. Rose will probably be the only one, or AJ might know about this. The band Ice Nine Kills, one of my favorite bands.
Oh yeah, I know about them.
They do very graphic, like horror movie style music videos, right? Well, for their song "Welcome to Horrorwood," on Friday the 13th, they released the music video for it, and it showed people getting. Well, see, it was supposed to come out the morning of Friday the 13th, but Ice Nine Kills came on Twitter and said, "Hey, nobody is allowing us to release this music video," because they had practical kill effects like from an 80s horror film, right? People getting shot with a shotgun. There was just a few different kills in it, whatever. But they had to go out on Twitter and say, "We're trying to censor the graphic violence down so we can send it out." So like 6 hours later, once they re-edited the whole thing, they sent out the edited version, and then they finally got approval to release the full version, which is amazing. It's one of the best music videos I've ever seen. But for something that's done, it's obvious. Like there's one scene where Spencer, the lead singer of Ice Nine Kills, is ripping the top of a guy's head off who was criticizing one of his, or he was an interviewer in the music video. He like rips the top of his head off, and they have to put a big censor bar over the top of it where you can't see it because they found it too graphic. But yet I can go watch a review of like Terrifier 2, and I can see images of even worse things on YouTube. So you tell me which one is worse. This is what I'm trying to point out here. It's very hypocritical, like I said already.
Oh, it is.
And you got all these movie studios too that upload red band movie trailers too, of fully uncensored, and they don't catch shit for it. Why? Because they got all the fucking money. Google's not gonna fuck with them.
And it's kind of
Right.
like how me and Rose, when we tried to do like review the video game awards, you had to be extremely careful what they played, the music, and what certain thing that's gonna hit you with copyright. Like
Yeah, you can
when
stream
I
it. You can stream it. You can co-stream it and react to it. But we're gonna play copyrighted music and movie trailers that are gonna get you shut down anyway.
yeah, so there's no point you
Well,
actually doing it.
Cut down, right?
we know who owns YouTube. It's all Google.
Come on.
It's all this Alphabet Corporation nonsense people. It's all the same entities doing this stuff. And if they like you, you get away with it. If you make them money, you get away with it. Okay, how many people can do like a reaction video to a movie trailer where they literally they'll have them in the full screen, and then down here in the corner they'll have the trailer for whatever they're watching, a video game or a movie or whatever it is. And they're showing somebody else's footage, but they don't get deemed for it. They actually make money for it. How many of these people can play somebody's song like, oh, first time listening to Metallica? I always get those kind of recommendations into my YouTube feed.
I've seen a few of them lately posted on Twitter.
Oh, they're everywhere. And these people are monetized. They're making money off of this stuff. And their whole channels are based off of this. But other people can't play more than 6 seconds of something, or, copyright, demonetized, blah, blah, blah.
Right.
So it's who they like, and it's who they want to enforce the rules on. I mean, Casey, how many times? I mean, Casey, didn't you say a minute ago that for using a GIF that you found online of a wrestling thing?
Yeah.
They pulled you down for that too.
Yeah. I mean, and it was from the WWE too. It was an AWA GIF that I found, and it's not that long. I'm like,
right.
And I was using it for an intro, and I would. The only way I can get around that was to flip the image.
Right.
So I mean, it would say.
Hell, I guess YouTube doesn't listen to your intro song videos that you play on your video game content, huh?
Oh, there's some stuff. I also speed up the music too, so it can kind of get around that. But I mean, I'm shocked I don't get hit for that as much as I do.
For people like Rose and Casey, I mean, I'm surprised how y'all would possibly make any money on this kind of stuff.
Oh, I'm not
considering the content that you're. Well, that's what I'm saying. But imagine being monetized. How many more lines you would have to walk? You know what I mean?
I'll tell you what, Tex. I had a when this whole fucking thing came out, started coming out with the FTC and YouTube having to do you got to mark the video as for children or not for children nowadays.
Right.
When we first started having to do that, I got my Mortal Kombat 11 review video age restricted. At the same time, while it was age restricted, YouTube decided that it was determined that it was made for kids while being age restricted at the same fucking time.
Age restricted, but for the youth, please. If you're young, watch this. That makes a lot of sense.
Now, there was another video I did on an anime game. One of my Let's Play videos for an anime game I play had nudity in it. Now the girls were naked. They were in a bath, but their parts were censored, right, by like soap bubbles and stuff. But they're still completely nude in a bath. You know exactly what's going on, right?
Right.
YouTube determined that was made for kids too. I'm like, hold on a minute. Nudity is apparently for kids nowadays. Okay. So
it's almost like they're trying to. It's almost like there's an agenda to groom these kids or something. That's crazy.
I had to
let certain things go.
I had to delete that video, that Let's Play part, off of my channel, and I'm like, well, fuck it. Since I had to delete that one part, my Let's Play now is going to be incomplete. So what's the point of finishing it? So I just deleted the whole fucking thing.
It was maybe 2 weeks ago. I was watching Drew's Grand Theft Auto thing, and he's in a strip club in the video game. And I mean, you're seeing full up top, full on cartoon boobage, and I mean, as y'all just said, he's monetized, and they're letting that get through the system. So
Yeah, and
I guess
Drew goes, "What do you call this?" I'm like, "I call it lucky as hell."
I agree. See, the thing
Well,
is, there's a few times I think at first I age restricted like a video game called the Angry Video Game Nerd game
I hear that,
because
Angry
Frank.
Video
I
Game
hear
Nerd,
that,
I
Frank.
like him. He's cool.
well, see, the thing is, it had pixeled boobs and dicks in it, so I'm like, ugh, is this considered nudity because it's pixelated, but it's not real? So
Right.
I age restricted it, and then after a while, I was like, you know what? I'm gonna take a chance and remove the age restriction, and I hadn't heard anything from it. So
Yeah, I think, like I said, I think it's and obviously I don't know. I don't post YouTube videos and do all this nonsense. I just hang out with y'all, but I, maybe it's one of those deals where once you upload it, if it passes through the system, you get lucky. Sometimes you get caught. Maybe it's just,
yeah,
maybe you will, maybe you won't. I don't know how it all works, but it's very fickle.
Or if you don't get caught right away, you might get caught a year or two down the line.
that's
Right. I mean, yeah. I mean, just like with this, with the poll question you got down in the chat, should YouTube be allowed to demonetize stuff from a year ago? No. I mean, that's stupid. It's, if you were okay with it then, you have to be okay with it now. But look at the world we live in. 5 years ago, how much more could you get away with now without trying to be canceled?
Right.
Whatever.
I think
every day there's new hate speech and new hate words and don't say this or don't say that.
Well,
it's horrible.
Sorry, Tex. I was gonna say that's why we're gonna go further with the censorship. So we're trying to censor even the kid cursings now out. So I mean, we gotta get
no darn and no shucks and no dang it, and Casey even says G Willikers is out the window.
Yeah, that's out of the window too.
Oh wow, I'm gonna need you to go to the bathroom and get that bar of soap and just wash that mouth out for that filth that you're talking about.
I mean, 5 years ago we could have got away with a little bit more. I mean, shoot. I mean, 5 years ago you could say the N word and not get really in trouble for it.
What are you talking about? I heard you say that Friday night. What are you talking? Oh wait, never mind. That was Mikhail that said that.
No.
That was Mikhail that said that.
Well, granted,
Mikhail, if you say it on my show, you're fucking out of here.
Well, granted, if he says it, the closed caption's not going to know what the hell he said.
Well, actually, technically, he said Snickers, like the candy bar. But with Mikhail speak, it obviously sounded like something else. And I may or may not have provoked him to say his favorite candy bar.
Sounds like you were provoking a lot on Friday night.
Yeah. I can't confirm or deny anything.
But with that being said, Casey, one more point, and then I do want to get to our last topic, which is the list of the Royal Rumble pay-per-views, which is a short list. But yeah, go on. Go ahead and say what you're gonna say.
Hurry up, Casey. G should take forever.
I forgot now.
Oh, that's a surprise.
God damn it, Casey.
All right. Final thoughts before we jump into this last topic and talk a little bit about the Royal Rumble.
Go ahead, please.
All right. So we're gonna throw this up on the screen. So I got here a list of previous Royal Rumbles. It's a top 15 list. Now, this isn't just Royal Rumble matches. This is Royal Rumble pay-per-views as a whole. So we're going to go through this list. It's by Sportster, thesportster.com. Number 15 is the 2002 Royal Rumble, which was rated a 7.12. The 2002 Royal Rumble was the Rumble that Triple H made his return after he tore his quads, and he was out for about 8 months, something like that, or a little longer.
It was about
That for a while.
it was the final Royal Rumble before WWE did the brand extension when they had the two separate rosters. Chris Jericho also defended his undisputed WWF Championship against The Rock that night. Ric Flair defeated Vince McMahon in a street fight, and William Regal defeated Edge for the IC title. The final four in the Royal Rumble match itself was Stone Cold Steve Austin, Mr. Perfect, Kurt Angle, and Triple H. And of course, we all know Triple H eliminated Kurt Angle to win that Royal Rumble match.
That was a good Rumble.
I forgot Mr. Perfect came back in the 2000s. I completely forgot that.
Yeah, I remember, and then he had a little bit of a run, but he didn't last there that long because
I totally. The last time I remember seeing him was in WCW. That's the last time I saw him.
Well, he came in like almost a year after it shut down.
Yeah, he wasn't there too long before he left again. I remember him coming back.
Okay.
Yeah.
Well, it's because the plane ride from hell thing happened.
Yeah.
Okay. Either way, it's all good. What's next?
Number 14, Royal Rumble 2010, which got a 7.13 rating. 2010 Royal Rumble, the WWE branded the Rumble with ECW, Raw, and SmackDown. The Royal Rumble match that year had more matches than usual. There were 6 matches outside of the Royal Rumble match, with The Undertaker defeating Rey Mysterio to defend his World Heavyweight Championship. Let's see. Sheamus defended his WWE title against Randy Orton. The Miz defended his title, the U.S. title, against MVP. Christian defended the ECW title against Ezekiel Jackson. The only title that changed hands that night was Mickie James winning the Women's Championship from Michelle McCool. As for the Royal Rumble match itself, Edge made his surprise return from injury to eliminate John Cena and win the whole match.
You know what? The one thing I had to say is, you kind of lose a bit of reality when Rey Mysterio is going for the World Heavyweight Championship. I mean, that the Heavyweight Championship part, the heavyweight keyword is like it's meaninglessly when the guy's a cruiserweight.
Casey, that would be like you challenging for the cruiserweight title.
Yeah, it's stupid. Yeah. It's stupid. Obviously it should, if it's going to be the World Heavyweight Champion, obviously you should be 205 and heavier for it.
So, by that logic, all those gymnastic boys in AEW that you like shouldn't be the World Heavyweight Champion then, eh? Is that what you're saying, Casey?
Well, actually, they don't even call the AEW World Belt a Heavyweight Championship. It's just a
right,
world.
But you know what it is. It's the same
thing.
Yeah. They did it first, but that terminology didn't stick very long.
Right.
Granted, it is outdated. It's been an outdated word for wrestling for a long time.
Yeah.
So if you older guys out there, remember this Royal Rumble, because I was obviously way too young to even remember it. I was only not even 2 years old when this match took place. Number 13, the Royal Rumble 1991 pay-per-view. The fourth Royal Rumble match in WWE took place in 1991. Hulk Hogan had won the match the year before, and he was back in the Rumble again in 1991. At this time, WWE history, the match was not for the world title. Despite this, Hogan wins the Rumble and ended up leading him to a world title match at WrestleMania 7.
I thought Hacksaw Jim Duggan won the first Rumble.
I think
this was the fourth Rumble.
I think when
fourth. I thought you said first. Okay, that's what you were going to say.
I think they had some Royal Rumbles that they did not have it aired, and that's why I heard of Hacksaw winning.
Oh, okay. Oh, either way, it's interesting.
Yeah.
Number 12 is a recent one, Royal Rumble 2019. Got a 7.15 rating. 2019 Royal Rumble featured one of the most memorable moments in the women's Royal Rumble match history. Earlier on in the show, Asuka beat Becky Lynch for the SmackDown Women's Championship.
Oh,
In the Rumble match, Lana was injured, and Becky Lynch came in and took her place, eliminating Charlotte to win the Royal Rumble match. In the men's match, Seth Rollins eliminated Braun Strowman to win the men's Royal Rumble match. There were 7 matches total on the main show, including Brock Lesnar beating Finn Balor in a Universal title match, Daniel Bryan beating AJ Styles in a WWE Championship match. Casey, your thoughts on that one?
I would put those other Royal Rumbles over it.
Yeah.
Personally, if I had to rank these myself, I would have put this one maybe 15th, probably, yeah.
I agree.
Or maybe not even on the list at all. But the next one on the list is the following year's Rumble, Royal Rumble 2020, before COVID happened.
Oh,
The 2020 Royal Rumble looked to lead to a very special moment for Drew McIntyre. That's when he won the match, so I remember that greatly. McIntyre won that year's men's Rumble match, setting up a huge moment, which unfortunately got ruined by COVID when he went to WrestleMania to fight for the WWE title. At WrestleMania, what was that, 36? When he won he won his first world title on the biggest stage of them all. Charlotte Flair won the women's Royal Rumble match, making up for her loss the year prior to Becky Lynch. In other matches, Bray Wyatt defended the Universal title against Daniel Bryan, and both Becky Lynch and Bayley defended their women's titles.
I wouldn't have put that one on there. I mean, I think it was good.
The Drew McIntyre moment was cool, though. That was cool.
I agree about that, but I mean, I don't like the most recent Royal Rumbles. I think from 2015 and up hadn't been really that good.
Well, then you won't like this one either, Casey. Number 10 was the Royal Rumble 2018. I believe that was the first ever women's Rumble match, too.
Yeah.
2018 is a historical year. It was the first time, that there would be a women's Royal Rumble match. They stole the show in the main event, with Asuka having the privilege of becoming the first woman to win a Royal Rumble match, and she punched her ticket to WrestleMania 34.
By the way, she lost at WrestleMania, so it made it pointless.
Her compatriot Shinsuke Nakamura prevailed in the men's Royal Rumble match, which I was actually really happy about. Brock Lesnar emerged victorious in the Universal title match against Braun Strowman and Kane, which was a very terrible match. AJ Styles retained the WWE Championship in a handicap match against Kevin Owens and Sami Zayn to round off the other notable results of that Rumble.
And the same thing with Shinsuke Nakamura. He wins it and he gets screwed at WrestleMania.
Yeah.
I can't stand that twitchy son of a bitch. I hate him. I've never liked him.
Jesus Christ. Let's see. TSS says, the fact I see the new Rumbles on here makes the list invalid.
I agree with TSS. And I'm telling you right now, the Rumble 92 is not on there. I mean, if it's not number 1, then this is definitely invalid.
Well, I believe 2009, if I remember correctly. Wasn't that the year that had the 40-man Rumble, or was that later than that?
Yeah.
2009 Royal Rumble got a 7.5 out of 10, apparently, number 9 out of 15. Royal Rumble events in the 2000s were pretty good, and the final one in the decade in 2009 was another remarkable show. Melina and Beth Phoenix Women's Championship run for the third time. the final reign WWE Women's Champion. Jack Swagger overcame Matt Hardy to retain the ECW Championship. John Cena saw off his old rival JBL in a World Heavyweight Championship contest. Unfortunately for all the diehard Jeff Hardy fans, his WWE title reign lasted just 42 days as Edge recaptured the title, all thanks to Jeff's brother Matt. Ultimately, Randy Orton won the Royal Rumble match in 2009 for the first time in his career by lastly eliminating Triple H and his legacy lapdogs Cody Rhodes and Ted DiBiase proved to be the difference maker.
Actually, the Rumble that had 40 was won by Del Rio, so it wasn't that one.
So we'll see if that one even makes the list for some reason. Which I believe 40 men in a Rumble match is awful. Same reason why I didn't like the one that they did in Saudi, because that one had 50.
Just say, wasn't that one 50 or something?
Yeah.
The only memorable moment in that Rumble was the fact that Daniel Bryan lasted about an hour and a half, and his fucking chest literally looked like he was beaten fucking raw.
Oh, it looked like dog, like actual pieces of meat on his chest, like bloody
Good, he
meat.
deserves the weirdo little hippie vegetarian. I don't trust him. He deserves it. Never liked that guy.
Oh.
Number 8 on the list, Royal Rumble 2005. I believe that was the first one John Cena won. 2005 Royal Rumble, fondly remembered for the botched finish, which led to John Cena and Batista getting eliminated simultaneously. However, an angry Vince McMahon came down the aisle and blew both quadriceps, with Batista winning the Rumble match once the match got restarted. Edge beat Shawn Michaels to earn one of his finest wins in his career in the opening match of the night. Triple H and JBL ensured that they would walk into WrestleMania 27 as reigning world champions, as they both successfully defended their championships. The Undertaker also prevailed by sealing Heidenreich in a casket in an underwhelming casket match.
I like that Rumble. I mean,
That was shit.
the
That
next
was
one,
shit.
the next one we shouldn't mention for the person who should be mentioned. The one who's be erased from history.
Royal Rumble 2004, number 7. 2004 Royal Rumble match is rarely spoken about because of Chris Benoit's Rumble victory. He became the second man after Shawn Michaels to win the Rumble from number 1. Evolution's Ric Flair and Batista retained the World Tag Team Championships against the Dudley Boys in a tables match. Rey Mysterio successfully defended the Cruiserweight Championship, and Eddie Guerrero beat his nephew Chavo in a grudge match. Brock Lesnar eased past Hardcore Holly in his WWE Championship title defense. Why Hardcore Holly was getting WWE title matches, we'll never know. Triple H and Shawn Michaels went to a draw in a highly competitive last man standing match, with the game hanging on to the World Heavyweight Championship. The 2004 Royal Rumble overall, I think, was a pretty good show.
Yeah.
I agree. It's just
I'd
sad.
say it was a killer Royal Rumble. Would you guys?
Definitely, definitely the winner of the Rumble was he murdered the competition.
Here's another one, Casey, I'm sure I won't like. Number 6, the Royal Rumble 2016.
There's a lot of more recent ones on this list.
Yeah, there's only been one from the 90s so far. I'm disappointed in that.
Right.
Yeah.
And we're already more than halfway through this list, so that doesn't bode well for some of the greatest Royal Rumbles, in my opinion.
Right. Right.
Royal Rumble 2016 was another solid Rumble, and the Royal Rumble match was filled with tons of drama. For the second time in WWE history, the WWE Championship was up for grabs in the Rumble match. Roman Reigns had the unenviable task of being the number one entrant in the WWE Championship title defense, and he came tantalizingly close to retaining, though Triple H had won the match, eliminating him and Dean Ambrose. Let's see. Charlotte Flair also retained the Divas Championship against Becky Lynch. Ambrose pulled double duty as he retained the IC title in an outstanding last man standing match with Kevin Owens. Another noteworthy result on the card saw the New Day beat their rivals, the Usos, in the WWE Tag Title match.
Usually, anytime the New Day takes on the Usos, is usually a good match.
Yeah.
Oh, well, we're in the top 5 territory. Let's see what the chat's saying real quick before I move on to this. They are saying absolutely nothing. Great. All right. Top 5. Here we go. Top 5. Royal Rumble 2008. This is the one I remember. John Cena made his return to Madison Square Garden and won the match at number 30.
That one was actually pretty cool how they did that one. I
Yeah.
like that one.
Yeah, coming out from nowhere. You thought he was done.
Royal
For a
Rumble
while.
2008 was another strong show with WWE flexing their muscles with a strong roster. Ric Flair ensuring that his career remained intact for another couple of months as he beat MVP in a career-threatening match. Edge retained his World Heavyweight title against Rey Mysterio, as did Randy Orton with his WWE title with Intercontinental Champion Jeff Hardy. However, the 2008 Rumble match was jam-packed with the likes of The Undertaker, Shawn Michaels, Triple H, and Batista slugging it out, among others. John Cena unexpectedly returned as the 30th entrant, and he went on to win the Rumble for the first time in one of the most memorable moments as that showpiece event.
I'm wondering if he. I hear that if you do was those embryos or whatever they say, that controversial stuff that they use from embryos that help
Stem cells?
Yeah, stem cells. I bet money he used some stem cells to get over that fast. That and probably steroids. They recovered that fast.
Hit the like button, guys. We got 54 viewers in total tonight and only 8 likes. What's up with that? Let's at least get to 10 or 12. As I'm over here hitting the wrong fucking buttons over here. Hold on a second.
Come on, man.
I mean, it was shocking for him coming back out of nowhere. And then he's been infamous as...
That's when they started calling him Super Cena, if I remember that.
Yeah, well, because he kept on, anytime he had an injury, he would come back super early all the time.
And then he'd keep fucking winning on top of that afterwards.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah.
All right, Casey, I guess you're not going to like the rest of this list anymore.
Yeah.
Number 4, 1992 Royal Rumble.
That's good.
Ooh. Okay.
1992 Royal Rumble was a well-constructed pay-per-view with the 1992 Royal Rumble match. Arguably the greatest Royal Rumble match of all time. Then why is it number 4 and not number 1? The recent WWE Championship was on the line, and Ric Flair prevailed to win the Rumble at the number 3 contestant. Roddy Piper won the IC title from the Mountie, and the new foundation overcame the Orient Express on the show. The Natural Disasters defeated LOD by countout, but the Tag Team Championships did not change hands. Excuse me. As titles do not change hands or by countout or DQ, obviously.
The only thing I would say it would bring it down would be the undercard, not the Royal Rumble.
But just for what Ric Flair did in that Rumble match alone, should have if this is okay, this is number 4. You said, right?
Yes.
So, without spoiling before we get ahead, is 97 or 98 above this? Because it better be.
Oh, well, I don't know because it's going in descending order.
I mean, I could see number 3, so it's not that.
Number 3 is Royal Rumble 2000, which was a really good pay-per-view. That was a pretty good pay-per-view.
I agree.
Yeah.
The first Royal Rumble of the new millennium did not fail to disappoint. Taz received a huge pop in his debut match when he destroyed Kurt Angle, which I thought was hilarious, in front of his hometown fans in New York City with the Rumble emanating from Madison Square Garden. The Hardys beat the Dudleys in a remarkable tag team table match. Chris Jericho beat Chyna and Hardcore Holly in a triple threat match to become the undisputed IC champion. Triple H and Cactus Jack's street fight was brutal, with the game retaining the WWE Championship. The Royal Rumble match was garbage, and The Rock controversially eliminated Big Show to win his only Royal Rumble match.
See, hold on. So obviously now they're ranking the pay-per-views, not the match. See, I feel like
the whole list is ranking the pay-per-view as a whole, not just the Rumble match.
Well, I can't remember whole pay-per-views. I can remember the Rumbles. I know if I were to do my top 5, 3 of them would be the 97, 98, 2001. And those were the years that Steve Austin won. And especially 2001 because that was the year that Kane just went off and just took out half.
Yeah, I remember
that one was cool.
My favorite Rumble was 98.
And then probably 92 would be on that list just because, like I said, Ric Flair going from first to winning the belt, the whole thing.
And you know what? Shawn Michaels in the 95 Rumble hasn't even been mentioned yet either. So,
yeah.
Actually, Ric Flair was number 3 in that match.
That's crazy.
Yeah.
Like, this list is weird. Whoever wrote this must have just started watching in 2000 something or whatever.
Yeah.
Number 2, the Royal Rumble of 2007.
Oh my God.
Royal Rumble 2007 was a stacked card with some remarkable matches. The Hardys and Eminem tore the house down in a brilliant opener. Batista's successful World Heavyweight Championship title defense against Mr. Kennedy was a better affair than many expected. John Cena edged past Umaga in a last man standing match to earn a second successive pay-per-view win over the Samoan Bulldozer. The Royal Rumble match was great as The Undertaker and Shawn Michaels occupied the final 2 spots. They had an epic showdown, and the Dead Man made history in his as the first man in the Rumble to win, the first man from number 30 to win the match.
Well, I'm okay with that. Hey, if it's Undertaker, I'm all for it. Undertaker's my dude.
So that means 2007 and 2008, both men back-to-back years won it from the number 30 spot.
Yeah.
All right,
very predictable on WWE's part.
Number 1, there's quite a lot of Rumbles left. Which one do you think it's going to be based on this list?
I say 2001.
I was going to say that, but I'll go 97.
98.
Mikhail says 98. AJ, what do you think?
I say 98.
98?
97, 98 were my favorites. In 96.
Number 1, Royal Rumble, according to this author and this list, is the Royal Rumble 2001, getting a 9 out of 10 rating.
That was a good one.
This list sucks.
WWE unquestionably nailed the 2001 Royal Rumble event with a brilliant show, as Stone Cold made history as the only man to win the Royal Rumble match 3 times. Kane produced a stellar outing and eliminated 11 wrestlers, which was a record that stood for 13 years before, of course, Roman Reigns had to beat it. Edge and
Of course.
Christian dropped the tag titles to the Dudley Boys in a brilliant opener. Chris Jericho overcame Chris Benoit to clinch the IC Championship in one of the best ladder matches. I remember that match. That was good.
Yeah.
Ivory and China's women's title match was a one-way traffic in China's favor, with Ivory retaining the gold and Kurt Angle retained the WWE Championship against Triple H in a high-caliber championship match.
Well,
At least they got number one right. I mean, I can agree with that.
I mean, I would put 2001 up there, but see, I mean, I honestly, if you're gonna say ranking the best Royal Rumble, you figure the match, not the pay-per-view, right? If you ask me.
Well, that's what I would have done. But, I mean, it would depend on the question. If they would have asked ranking the pay-per-views or the match, that's two different questions. But,
Yeah.
it is what it is.
See, I was gonna go either way with this list. I was thinking about just doing, the Royal Rumble match itself, but I figured, you know what? The pay-per-view as a whole is turning 35 this year, so let me see if I can find a list of the top pay-per-views as a whole where they're considering the entire card and not just the main event or the Royal Rumble match itself.
Now, let me ask this question then, since we're on topic here. Who do y'all think wins this year's Rumble?
Oh.
I think a lot of people are thinking it's Cody Rhodes.
Oh,
Yeah.
that's what I was about to say. I mean, I keep seeing
As for the
these.
women, I have no idea. For the men, I think it's Cody Rhodes.
Yeah, I agree.
I'm going to go Alexa Bliss because they've been doing that. They're turning her back all scary, and I love it. So I'm going to say Alexa Bliss.
Oh, God.
I couldn't tell who would win the women's, but as the men, I had to go with Cody. I mean, it's definitely not
Assuming
going to be.
he's healthy. He's healthy.
I think based on his performance in that Hell in a Cell match alone would be reason enough for Vince to let him win it.
Well,
I mean,
if he's cleared and he's healthy enough to, if he's healthy, then yes, I'm gonna say Cody Rhodes. But otherwise, I don't know.
I mean, you can't say Brock Lesnar again for another year.
I'd be okay with it.
Let's see if I could find the list of if there's an entire entrance list for the match. Let's see.
Oh, there ain't going to be an entire list. There might be a partial list. I mean, one of the hottest guys right now is Sami Zayn, but he's not going to be in the main event.
All right, so this is updated as of 2 days ago. This is from Cage Side Seats. Let's make sure you guys can see the article on screen. Yeah, I gotta do this a little bit. Okay, there we go.
Well, some people are even thinking maybe The Rock would be taking on Roman at WrestleMania.
He's making movies and stuff. I don't see him coming back anytime soon.
All right, so the list as it is right now: Kofi Kingston, Ricochet, Bobby Lashley, Seth Rollins, Austin Theory, Baron Corbin, Santos Escobar, Rey Mysterio, and Gunther.
I don't see any of them winning.
There's only 9 people revealed so far, and Cody Rhodes is obviously going to be a surprise entrant.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I'm going to say Cody Rhodes. I'm not going to say 30 because that's too predictable. I'll go Cody Rhodes at like 28.
I would I think, isn't 27?
27. 27 is a memorable number.
Yeah.
So
or maybe 27. Somewhere, he'll be somewhere in the high 20s, but I don't think he'll come in at 30. I think that's too predictable.
There's only 4 listed for the Women's Rumble so far. Liv Morgan, Candice LeRae, Rhea Ripley, and Raquel Rodriguez.
The Women's Rumble sucks. They can barely get over the top rope. Why are they? This is so dumb. Why are they doing this?
You know what's sad? You know what's sad? Last year they even had to bring someone from a different company to fill in the spot. They had Mickie James, who was the Impact Women's Champion.
Yeah, she was the Knockouts champion last year when she came in. I thought that was really cool though that Vince let her use her TNA music and bring the belt out. That was really cool.
I don't see why they wouldn't do that again. They'll probably do that this year too.
Well, there is a rumor that there's going to be a Forbidden Door entrant. That's either going to cross sides from either AEW, Ring of Honor, or New Japan. That's going to be in the match.
I heard like Jay White might be available soon.
But does it matter if they don't win, though? I mean, well, what does it count if they just surprise wrestler?
It's just so the marks have something to mark out to. That's all.
Yeah, that's all it is. I mean, if Mickey James, working for a different company, just by definition of her working for a different company, they're not going to put her in the winner spot. That's not going to happen.
It would be something interesting. I mean, it would work great for both companies, but I mean, WWE's not. They're not in business sharing with another company. They only think about WWE themselves.
Well, if you were Vince McMahon, would you put over somebody else's talent? No. You put your own over.
Yeah, I mean, granted, yeah.
So here's the Sportster again, and this is apparently the updated match card for this year's Royal Rumble pay-per-view, which is on the 20th of January, which is the last Saturday of the month. We have Roman Reigns and Kevin Owens for the Universal Championship. The men's Royal Rumble match, obviously, same as the women's. Bray Wyatt versus LA Knight in a Mountain Dew pitch black match.
What is that?
What the fuck?
Either way, it's gonna be Bray Wyatt winning that.
Bray Wyatt has been back in WWE since October, and despite wrestling at a live event, he is yet to compete back on TV. That changes at the Royal Rumble when he steps into the ring with LA Knight for a Mountain Dew pitch black match. As for what that is exactly, your guess remains as good as ours.
Yeah, I think it's stupid.
I'm gonna guess it's probably like a match where all the lights are turned off and there's just like spotlights. And it's just
do they have to chug Mountain Dew throughout the match?
Oh no! They should have to drown their opponent in Mountain Dew till they die. That would be a good match.
It's not only that. Actually, you know what? Because they do have Mountain Dew pitch black. They drown
Yes, that's why it's sponsored Mountain Dew pitch black, obviously.
So that's you have to drown them in the pitch black Mountain Dew. So that's how you do it.
You're just retelling my joke, Casey. Come on now.
Yeah.
I'm just saying they don't have to have the lights out. It would just be.
Or if they want to get a little, TV-14 here, you have to take a bottle of Mountain Dew and shove it up the ass of your opponent to win.
No.
You could also do that as well.
So
that might also be.
So apparently they only have 4 matches confirmed, which I'm also hearing that the women are both going to defend their titles, so that would put 6 matches on the card. But that's not confirmed yet, so as of right now, we have 2 Rumble matches, the Universal title match and the Pitch Black Mountain Dew. Drink it till you fucking puke match.
Let's see. I know the Rumble's in San Antonio this year.
Yeah, it is.
Yeah.
Maybe they can have old man Shawn Michaels come back and limp his way down to the ring. Maybe they can do that.
Oh, God.
With that one good eye that he has and the other one that's off to the side, that bald head, he just looks sad these days.
God, he looks horrible nowadays.
Yeah.
I mean,
I'm glad I met him a few years ago then.
I saw a picture of him on Twitter the other day when he wasn't wearing his cowboy hat. And holy crap. I mean, he needs to go back to the shaved head look. He looked much better with the shaved head. But,
really?
Yeah. Oh,
I
dude,
mean,
he's got like the old man hair where it's just on the sides and the back and it's long, but there's nothing on top. It's bad, dude.
Oh. Oh, maybe that's why he went bald. I mean, at his now last match in Saudi, I mean, that's where he had. I think he was wearing a do rag with the cowboy hat.
I'm kind of interested in this pitch black match. It's probably going. I would imagine it's probably just going to be your typical Bray Wyatt with all the spectacle and everything else. Which that's what I like about wrestling. So I'm actually interested in seeing that. The rest of them, whatever. But
maybe
that might be okay.
Maybe it's a chugging contest to see who can chug the most pitch black Mountain Dews. And the first one who gives up loses.
I don't know. I at this point with wrestling, the only way I keep up with it is, clips on Twitter at this point. That's all I ever see. So I don't even really know.
Yeah, I watch maybe one Raw and one SmackDown a month, like right before the pay-per-view. Just so I know just enough to know what's going on.
Like, I barely even listen to, like, the wrestling. Like, I used to listen to Jim Cornette's couple of his podcasts every week. But I've even, like, not cared for, like, maybe the last month or two. Like, I've skipped a lot of those, too. So I'm way out of the loop on that.
Yeah, I haven't listened to Jim Cornette in like a month.
Yeah, I mean, it's been bad.
I will say, in my opinion, AEW's put on better shows in the past couple of weeks than I think they have in the past couple of months.
I agree about that.
Yeah.
Although that fucking best of 7 fucking 6-man trios title
It's finally done.
that was so fucking predictable. It was disgusting. And
yeah,
they couldn't just call it a simple tables, ladders, and chairs match. They had to have fucking Sockhead Excalibur keep calling it by its fucking Mexican fucking name. What's they call that fucking I can't even fucking pronounce it now. Fucking something Escalera de fucking Delero or some shit. Like, how hard is it to say? How hard is it to say tables, ladders, and chairs? Because that's what it was.
Well, because the WWE coined that, so
Yeah.
Okay, but they could have just called it. You could have just said, okay, well, you could have just.
Why
said
don't they just call
ladder
it a hardcore match? Why don't they just call it a hardcore match?
They
That's what
could
it is.
they could have just called it a fucking ladder match because WWE doesn't own the term ladder match because every other wrestling company uses the term ladder match.
They could.
They had the tables and the chairs out there too. They didn't have to call it TLC. They could have just called it a ladder match and just had the other weapons out there.
Or hold on, maybe you said the initials backwards. It's chairs, ladders, and tables.
Doesn't AEW call it the trios belts instead of the 6-man?
Yeah, that's why.
Belt?
Yeah, it's called the trios championship.
Because they had a 6-man belt back in WCW days.
It's the same thing.
Yeah, well, that's what I'm saying. Like, why are you calling it a trios title? Well, we ain't in Mexico here. That's what I don't understand.
That's what I'm saying. They call everything by their fucking Mexican names. A ladder match is fucking Diescalero Muerte. Fucking what the fuck you pronounce that fucking match?
I can't wait for them to go out. I hate it. I don't even watch AEW, and I hate them. I can't wait for them to go out of business.
They put on they put on good matches with wrestlers that actually know what they're doing. Like when guys are out there when guys are out there like Daniel Bryan and Chris Jericho, and like guys like Adam Cole and fucking who's in AW that's been around for a while, like
what about Darby Allin and
I want
Darby Allin?
Samoa Joe and Sting, guys that when those guys are in the ring wrestling, it's good to watch. But then when you get the flippy dippy fucking idiot indie morons like the Young Bucks and Kenny Douchebag Omega, I fucking can't stand him. All of their fucking clowns.
He should get hit by a bus. That would be good.
Fucking all of his fucking clowns, all of their clowns. Then you got guys like fucking Orange Cassidy who will wrestle half the match with his fucking hands in his pockets. Like, no, when they're out there wrestling, I tune it out most of the time. Like, okay, I like the Lucha Bros because every once in a while I do like that luchador style of wrestling. You know, when they do the high flying moves because they don't make it look ridiculous because at least they know what they're doing. Like the Young Bucks just make it look fucking stupid.
I agree with the Young Bucks, but I like Kenny Omega.
I
But
fucking hate him. I think he's the most boring wrestler on the planet. Even more boring than Roman Reigns.
well, right
I
now
would
Roman.
I would love to handcuff Kenny Omega's hands behind his back, give Jim Cornette like a stick, like a broomstick, and just tell him to beat the hell out of Kenny Omega.
No, don't
That
give
would
him.
entertain
Don't
me
give
so
him.
much.
Don't give him the broomstick. Give him his fucking. Give him his tennis racket. Give him something.
Oh,
he
the
was
tennis
known,
racket, yeah.
Give him something he was known for.
Give him the tennis racket with the horseshoe inside of it, you know, with the zipped case on it. Have him beat that moron to death. I'd buy that on pay per view. I would pay to see that. But you know,
See, TSS actually agrees with me a little bit. He says Omega is better than Jay White.
Well, I don't even know who Jay White is. I've seen the guy wrestle 2 matches in AEW. I'm not a big fucking wrestling mark like a lot of people do. I don't follow New Japan. I don't follow New Japan and Ring of Honor as closely as everyone else did.
No, I don't either, but I know he's a big guy in New Japan. But
I want to see. I want to see more guys. Like, what the fuck are they doing with Rusev? I heard he wants out of AEW because they're not using him. And they're wasting fucking him in AEW right now.
Yeah.
I mean, he was a monster in WWE when he first came in. He was like Drago.
He was a monster when he first was in AEW until they fucking stopped using him.
Yeah.
He lost that one match and then he was off TV for months. I don't remember why. And then you seen him in a couple of promos here and there, and they didn't do anything with him.
Well,
the last thing I remember about Rusev was 2 things. When his wife was kissing that black dude while they were standing over the top of him on WWE. Y'all remember that?
Yeah, I remember.
Yeah.
And then when I saw, I forget which wrestling channel it was. It's some other YouTuber I was watching. They showed a clip of him in a bunch of video arcade games on AEW.
Yeah, that was that was him and.
Oh, that's right.
So was it Kip Sabian or somebody?
I don't remember.
And they broke into his hotel room or something. And he was like, "Watch."
Rusev was the only one of them that I noticed.
He was like, "Watch the
Xbox."
Yeah, I remember that clip you're talking about. He's like, "Watch the Xbox. Yeah. My wife bought me that." I'm like, fucking serious?
I'm sitting there like, my God, we have devolved. Like, there's nothing wrong with video games, but wrestling has devolved so much now. Video arcade games are a story angle. Like, wow, okay, this is dead.
They had, and then they had the one wrestling match. They had that one tag team match where out in the crowd they had like all those arcade machines out there. I'll tell you
that's what I'm talking about.
I'll tell you what though, I popped for that Mortal Kombat machine, and they freaking. I think one of them jumped off the top of it, and one of them got slammed into it. I'm like, don't break the Mortal Kombat machine.
But
it's kind of off topic, but I was going to bring up. Y'all remember that Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtle video game that y'all played?
Yeah.
The Shredder's Revenge?
Right.
Yeah.
I got that. If you have Netflix, you can download that for free and play that on your phone.
Really?
Where?
I did not know
I
that.
just got it.
No shit.
Yeah, no. I found it yesterday. I was looking at Netflix, and when you scroll through, there's the games or whatever, and I saw a Ninja Turtle game, and I was like, "Oh wait, that's the one I played whenever I was a kid." And I downloaded it. It's the exact same game that y'all played on your PlayStations or whatever, just made for phones, and you can even like play with people because I had my youngest download it. Me and her have been playing on the same game, like y'all in Compton were doing or whatever.
Yeah, that game was pretty good. Yeah, they did that game pretty good.
Yeah.
Yeah, I agree.
Yeah, It's the exact same game. It looks, obviously it's not like high def for like PlayStation 5 or whatever, but I'm like 6 or 7 levels deep into it right now. We've been playing together. It's pretty fun.
Well, it doesn't.
Since you brought up video games real quick, Tex, I guess we'll go into this little thing real quick. Did you happen to see the new Texas Chainsaw Massacre game
Oh, God.
trailer? I think that came out last week.
No, I didn't know they released any more footage.
Yeah, there was a new trailer out. It was posted on Twitter last
Really?
week. I forgot who posted it. But yeah, there's a new trailer out.
I'll have to look for that when we get off here. Yeah, I'm excited for that. That looks cool. I really hope that game does well, so that way they do like add-ons or more content of different versions of Leatherface, different, all the different movies and stuff. There's a lot they can do with that property right there. That's going to be really cool.
Well, guys, I think we've reached that time of the show again. We are 3.5 hours, just about 3.5 hours in. I think we should get to the shout-outs portion of the channel. I want to say thanks to everybody coming on tonight. 5 on a call. That's a record for my channel. I guess
growing by leaps and bounds.
I guess AJ, we'll start with you. Do you got anything you want to shout out or anything to plug since Casey got up?
Pretty much the Wednesday and Friday show. Right, Wednesday night Nitro and Friday night is Raw. Check us out on there.
That's over on Casey's channel, right? Every week or whenever you guys do it?
Yep, every week.
Yeah.
All right. Easy and short and sweet and to the point. I like it. All right, Michael, what about you? What do you got coming up, man? What are you doing?
The football non-call beginning and Royal Rumble gun check me help my character on YouTube. And also got my gaming on Fit.tv, my game.
You got a gaming channel now too, Michael?
Yeah.
Huh?
Yeah.
Okay, I did not know that. How about that? Guess you learn something new every day. Well, Casey better hurry up or he's going to miss his shout out because Tex, it's your turn.
Tune into the Harsh Truth on Thursdays with Movie Talk. Don't know what we're talking about this week. I haven't seen the exact schedule, but we always, keep up to date with movie news coming out. We've done a couple good prediction shows for what we're looking forward to in 2023 the past couple of weeks. But look for this Saturday night for a movie review. We haven't decided what we're going to do, but somewhere around 9 o'clock Eastern time or Pacific time, I guess. But just go subscribe to the Harsh Truth. We do cool stuff up there. That's about it.
So actually, real quick before I get to Casey's shout out, I wanted to ask you. I don't know if you, Tex. I'm sure Frank's still not here, but I wanted to ask you guys over the years. I'm sure, obviously, maybe not recently, but over the years, like how much Scooby-Doo have you guys watched? Because I don't know if you guys have heard about that new show.
Oh God!
That new show on HBO Max, Velma.
I watched it.
I wanted to talk about that show tonight, but I'm sure Casey didn't look into it. I didn't get a chance to watch it yet.
That's bad.
I just wanted, from what I've seen, it looked really from what I've seen, it sounded really bad.
This is nothing. This show is the definition of woke garbage. I love Scooby Doo. I grew up on the classic Scooby Doo and almost every other.
Yep, so did I.
Scooby Doo is one of the main reasons why I love scary movies now. You know what I mean?
Torcatcher, what's up, man? Unfortunately,
this new show, Velma, it's nothing but making fun of white people, and you don't like this because we're different. That's pretty much the whole show.
Yeah.
That's the whole thing.
I've
It
seen
doesn't
it.
even have Scooby Doo.
Yeah,
So,
that's what I've heard. They made Shaggy. They turned him from white to black.
Shaggy's a black
Yeah,
dude.
Shaggy.
Velma's Indian.
Velma's black. No,
Yeah.
is she black? I thought she was black. I heard she was black. Maybe she's Indian.
I think she's supposed to be Indian. Yeah, I think it's Indian.
Yeah, and also now Velma's a lesbian, so they retconned her character completely.
Yeah.
It's garbage. I watched the first episode and I'll never watch another one.
I wanted to talk about that show, but I didn't know if Frank watched it, if he was even thinking about looking into it at the very least. I thought that could have been maybe an interesting topic for one of his shows, and I would have definitely would have hopped on there.
I haven't spoke to him about it. I haven't spoke to him about it. I don't know if he's watched it. I know he's been working a lot, been busy, so I don't know if he caught it or not. But I'd be more than happy to crap all over a bunch of woke nonsense. So.
Brad 3 Goat. Brad 3 Goat. Who do you think is winning the women's and men's rumbles? Well, we mentioned that earlier there, Brad. We think it's going to be Cody Rhodes for the men. As for the women,
Alexa Bliss for the women.
Tex is going with Alexa Bliss, but honestly, there's only been 4 women announced for the thing so far, so honestly, I don't have a guess what the winner.
Oh, you know what? I know who's going to win the women's Royal Rumble. It's Santina Marella.
Why is that? Because she's going to be coming out to the ring in those crotchless underwear we've been hearing about?
God.
Oh, God.
Oh, God. What is I'm on vomit.
So yeah, I don't know if you want to bring it up to him, Tex, but yeah, that
I'll talk to him. I'll ask.
I was gonna ask him. I meant to bring it up while he was in the chat earlier, but obviously with the off topic and you ripping into Casey, and then
Yeah. I'll bring it up to him, see if that's something he wants to cover or whatever.
I thought, I was thinking maybe he might want to do it because that would be something. Even if it's bad, I would want to watch it just to see how bad it is and have something to talk with him about. Because I haven't been on his channel in over a year since we did the Spider-Man review and I filled in for Cora.
Yeah, we've been we recently, or actually on the last episode, we did our movie resolutions for 2023, and mine was to bring up and highlight more independent horror films that you may not see because it's not a Scream or Halloween or a Friday the 13th.
Like the Winnie the Pooh one coming out next month?
Like a Winnie the Pooh. I mean, there is a whole world of scary movies that never get talked about. And so, here lately I've been coming on Casey's Wednesday show, but I'm going to have to trim that back because I'm putting more into the movie side. So, we're trying, and even Frank had wanted to do more horror stuff on The Harsh Truth. So, it's kind of becoming a mission statement or goal or whatever you want to say. So we're trying to branch out. And with this Velma show, it's definitely a hot topic. And it couldn't be a whole show, but it could definitely be a segment on there for sure.
Right. Right now there's only 2 episodes right now, so I don't know how long the show is going to be, how many episodes is going to end up being in the end. But from what I'm hearing right now, it does not sound good at all.
It's horrible. I watched the first one, and I had to work and push myself to not turn it off. It was that bad.
Oh,
it was horrible.
You said this is on Netflix, right?
No, it's on HBO.
No, it's on HBO Max.
Okay. Because I was going to say, a lot of times Netflix likes to just dump the whole series.
I said that the Ninja Turtle video game, you can download, if you have a Netflix account and you go into your Netflix, scroll down to the games, you'll see, you click on it and it sends you to your Google Play Store, which is what because I have an Android, is what it did for me. And then once you open the game, it'll show your Netflix account and you just click on your profile and then you can play the whole game. That's what it is.
Because I thought for a second this was on Netflix because I'm
this is a Scooby-Doo Warner Brother property, which makes no sense. When whenever Zaslav took over Warner Brothers, he axed a Scooby-Doo movie that actually looked pretty good, but they let them continue to make this piece of crap. It's garbage. So yeah.
It's just stupid. Why couldn't they just make up a different group? I mean, why did they have to change the whole group and not even have Scooby in there?
That's
But I mean, Rose, even if Frank don't want to cover it, if you want to cover it on the next Less Than Serious or whatever, I'll be more than happy to hop on and talk about it with you.
Yeah, man. Like I said, I wanted to do it tonight, but I didn't get a chance to watch at least the first episode. I figured Casey wasn't going to look into it, even though I asked him last night to do it. But it is what it is.
I'll watch the other episode or whatever that's out, just so I can just crap all over it.
I don't know if they're doing one episode a week or how they're doing it, but the next LTS I'm going to plan to do is going to be the night after the Royal Rumble, which will be the end of the month. So if there's 4 episodes,
yeah, that's fine.
If there's 4 episodes
whatever
or
it
3,
is.
whatever, I definitely want to check it out. See,
how bad if you just want to do them here. Yeah, if you just want to do it here, I'll hop on with you. Cover it or whatever. That's cool.
I just thought it could be something Frank might cover because he does the movies and entertainment, kind of thing. So
I'll ask him next time I talk to him. But if he doesn't want to do it, I'll let you know. You can do it here if you want to. Whatever.
Yeah, that'd be cool. I mean, if he doesn't want to do it there, maybe if he wants to join in, he can do it here too. That's fine. If it's something he don't want to cover, I definitely want to cover it.
Yeah,
I thought it was just what Rose told me. He said it was Scooby without Scooby Doo. It was like I heard of Velma. I was like,
it's about Velma. Yeah, no, it's a complete woke, different raced version, and they just make fun of people that don't like it. That's basically the show.
And they got the current voice actor of Fred from the actual Scooby-Doo cartoon to come on just so he could say the word bitch.
Yeah.
And did they at least have a sexy version of Velma? Because there's some women who dress so...
It's not live action, it's a cartoon.
Velma is now a fat Indian girl. Basically is what she is.
So that's going to be the introduction to whenever we eventually cover this, but I do want to cover it in a future episode. So
yeah, we'll cover it. I'll come on. I'll hop on with you, shoot your shit, whatever.
But
it's all good.
Casey, I'm going to give you your time in the spotlight. This ought to take about 10 minutes.
Everybody get a sandwich.
Well, I do have one coming up tomorrow. I actually gave a sneak peek to AJ because this is his viewer request.
Yeah,
game.
It's great.
It was he requested me. No, I'm just promoting the game. It's
right.
WCW NWO Revenge.
Oh shit! I might have to rip that video apart depending on how you do that one.
It's great. Casey actually did a really good review. I watched it all. It's an hour long, but it's really good.
I gotta see this to believe it. Casey, upload it tomorrow.
See, the thing is, he didn't like my my solo video on the whole WWE thing because I used too much GIFs.
I liked the topic, but I didn't like how you edited it and all the unnecessary GIFs and the 2-minute long intro. No. That was it was too much.
But I have that, and then I'll have.
He's talking about this video right here, you guys. And the more I think about this video, the more I want to do a reaction video on it.
Do it.
Oh, that could be a whole new channel, Rose Reacts. And you just cover Casey's channel. That's all that you did.
I've done it to one of his other videos already.
Yeah, well, I mean, I think I evolved since then a little bit, but I mean, granted, I don't do it as good as some people, but
I'm not saying you have to be amazing. I just said that slapping all those freaking GIFs and shit all over your video made it look like a fucking child edited that video.
But
literally, it looked like you just talking on the video, right, in the background, and then you just gave the editing materials and to an 8-year-old with a bunch of fucking pictures and just told him to go crazy.
Well, I mean, I'm trying to drive the point. That's what the whole thing with those gifs and pictures.
Yeah, but you put a picture of the Fox logo on there at one point. We know what Fox is. We don't need to see a picture of the Fox logo.
Oh. But I'm in the middle of my pickups / unboxing video that I will wrap up after this. And I'll probably have both of those up tomorrow.
So let's take a look at this. 89 views of the Captain Planet video, which I did not know there was a Captain Planet video game. I have to look at this one.
It's horrible. The game is horrible.
150.
Captain Planet was propaganda at an early age to brainwash people into globalism, by the way.
Casey trying to double dip on the whole WWE thing because his first video got 152 views and the second one bombed at only 30.
Oh.
Well, I mean, I was I was like, oh, I have an idea. And it's like, I think they'll sell right after they get the TV rights. Because, I mean, when you think they'll ask for more money, let's say, if they get the TV rights for $1 billion for NBC and $1 billion from Fox, when you want to tack on like a little bit more money on the sale price for that.
Then you got this here. This is the last short Casey did. 483 views. Casey challenged me to a game of Tetris, but he hasn't bought me the game yet, so. Wednesday Night Nitro. Where's the Friday show? You took that one down?
For now. I'm in the middle of editing.
The Wednesday show got 169. That's not bad. People don't want to see you play Fortnite, Casey. That's obvious. 16 views.
I mean, I hadn't played as often. I'm kind of growing stale of the game. I'll play every once in a while.
That game was stale 10 years ago. What are you talking about?
No, we're not.
No, I just don't play it as often, but I will be putting Friday is Raw back up. It's just I'm editing it.
He's got to cut out the crotchless panties.
Oh God. And we're gonna
hang on. I gotta pause here for a minute. Where is crotchless pants? Why is this a thing? I'm curious.
I know. I heard you started it.
Me?
No. The ex brought up the whole thing about crotchless panties.
I did my very best to block out anything to do with that conversation. You and I spoke about that already privately. You know how I feel about that.
I missed the whole thing. I told Casey I was going to come on Friday night. Now I'm glad I didn't.
You're better off.
Apparently there was a good amount of drama that happened on that show that I probably didn't need to be there for.
Well,
I was tricked, and yes, I'm not happy about this. Yes,
Colin, you think you're tricked into BS? What about me? I had no idea about this going on.
I was tricked too.
Dude,
I will be happy to explain to Rose my side of this once we're off the air, because you're lucky this is not the time of Festivus, or I'd be dragging you across the table, Casey. That's all I got to say.
Oh my God!
I don't see how it's my fault. I didn't know this whole thing was going on in Twitter.
Wait. Do I have to make a Patreon account just to do a less than
no? This is family business. This is off air. Nobody. We don't want this recorded. It's why I told Casey to pull that episode and get rid of that.
So, this is horseman business.
Yes. Yeah. Like I said, we'll talk after the show.
Casey, check him out. 363 subs. He still cannot reach 400.
Oh, I'm making some progress.
Yeah, you got a few since the last time I seen your channel.
I've been catching. I'm gonna catch up to Frank eventually.
You're not gonna catch us, Casey. You're not gonna catch us.
So we got on my side of the fence. On my side of the fence, we got. Let's see. I just uploaded the part 2 to the Need for Speed here. Need for Speed Unbound. We got Mortal Kombat here. This shows the fact that nobody likes Sue Hao because nobody wanted to see that video, and I don't blame anybody for that. People like to see me open Pokemon cards, though. I got 72 views on that one.
Nice.
Let's see here. I unboxed the Xbox Series X, even though it came out over 2 years ago. It still got over 200 views on that one.
That's good.
I got a short here that hit over 1,000 views. It's at 1.1 right now. My last short got over 400. My last live I did. This I deleted. I don't know why that's there. Unfortunately, I did this stream last night. I have to take this down and put it into one video because the internet box decided it was going to shut off on me and reset completely. So I had to. It completely killed the stream. This was my last stream of the year, the New Year's Eve, end of 2022 stream. WWE stream is actually getting me more views than I anticipated. So this is everything that I've got going on. And since Frank mentioned Rumble earlier in the night, if you want, you can follow me there as well because I have a feeling YouTube is eventually going to crap out, and I don't want to have all my eggs in one basket anymore. So I am going to start. I'm going to start uploading my content over there as well.
Not a bad idea.
I'm going to be uploading a mixture of older videos and current content. Right now, I only have one subscriber over there, but you guys could change that. I'd greatly appreciate it. It is.
Well, I can sub and then unsub.
So with that being said, guys, I think we reached the end of the show. I want to say thanks to everybody who came by to watch us tonight. Let's give thanks. Let's give thanks to the chat. We had Anani was the first one in the chat. We had TSS, Steve Callan. We had Bam, Michael, of course, AJ. We had Frederico Garza, Frank from The Harsh Truth, EJ News, my brother Pluto, my other brother, Saying God YouTube. We had who else? We had Casey double dipping in the chat, bastard. Let's see here. Who else? Make sure we didn't miss anybody. We had very late joining the chat. We had Tor Capture and Brad 3 Goat. And yes, we had Flame Legend. He was in the chat as well. They were in the chat as well. We had one person on Twitch who came on to say hi.
Nice.
Tex in the chat before he had to call out Casey on his bullshit. And
I didn't want to, but I was forced.
I think I got everybody now with their shout outs for being in the chat.
See, I'm willing to listen to someone's criticism if they're saying, and if it makes sense, I'll be like, you know what, that makes sense.
Casey, when you know you're wrong, you should at least listen to the people who are right. I'll give you that much credit. So. Not much more than that, but I'll give you that much. So.
Well, I got one new subscriber tonight. I'm sitting at 588 and 12 short of 600 now.
You're close.
With that being said, guys, I want to end this stream. It's been going on for over 3.5 hours now. Thanks for watching. Check out the description box down below where you'll find Casey's Twitter, my Twitter, and other social media links. Follow me right here on YouTube and Twitch. I'd greatly appreciate it. Subscribe to the channel. It means a lot. Hit the like button on this stream to show me you like Less Than Serious and you want to see future episodes. And, yeah, check me out on Rumble again. I don't have the link in the description box, but I'll probably start adding that to future videos in my descriptions. As well as check out Derailed Gaming. Gatekeeper Drew investing and doubling down on his rebranding by buying a PlayStation 5 recently and now getting a brand new gaming PC, which I'm sure costed him probably at least over $1,000. And yeah, he's doubling down on that YouTube gaming, man. So I hope it works out for him. Check him out. Link in the description box down below. And also the Derailed Patreon for $1 a month, where you can still get the archive of the original Less Than Serious podcast, as well as the Derailed podcast. Together, for $1, you get over nearly 300 episodes of podcasting material, thousands of hours to listen to. Over the years, we all covered a broad range of topics, going from murder mysteries to music, movies, video games, general bullshit, playing Cards Against Humanity, heckling each other on a weekly basis. It was a really fun show, man. And one day it'll come back, even if it's for one night only. But check all that out.
Oh.
Links are in the description box down below. It'll be all pretty cool if you check all that out. Check us all out. Anyways, for AJ Raider, Michael, Tex, Casey is Raw. My name is The Rose, and unless you guys have anything else you want to say before I end the show, I want to say thank you all for watching, and let you guys get the last word. But until
Did I
next
say
time,
the N word?
no.
I love Snickers. They're great candy bars.
Oh yeah, I do want to go over the poll results right quick before I say goodbye. I asked you guys in the chat, should YouTube be able to charge back money for you earned on videos before they're demonetized? 17% of you said yes out of 23 votes. 57%
17% are communists.
57% said no, and 26% said it depends on the situation. So
I think it's stupid. Like, if they overpaid you, that should be their problem,
that's
not
their
yours.
fault.
Yeah.
well, it's like the government. When the government overpays you, they're going to want their money back. So
Yeah.
It's the government's fault, man.
Unfortunately.
But well, guys, thanks for a fun night. It's been fun. Can't wait to do this again. Maybe the next time we do this, we'll rip into that Velma show. And
Boy, I'm more than willing.
we'll see how things are. Maybe we'll do a quick Royal Rumble 2023 review. I'm sure I'm going to be watching. I'm sure Casey's going to watch it.
Yeah.
So we'll see. And any topics that might arise between now and the next couple of weeks. So, anyways, guys, again, thanks for coming on. My name is Rose. Until next time, for Casey is Raw, AJ, Tex, and Michael. Happy birthday, Michael. Have a good night, everybody.
We
So long.
killed that
If
gimmick.
we don't say that no more, that's canceled.
Yeah. No more birthdays for Mikal.
Fuck
Are we?
you,
So,
All right, you guys. Well, till next time, let's try this again. My name is The Rose, and we'll catch your ass down the road.